Yeah. You gotta get all that set up. Everyone, we are live. We are late, but we are live, family. We are live. Before we get started, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Let's see here. Patreon. Become a monthly Patreon. Patreon.com. Search for Uhuru. Again, patreon.com. Search for Uhuru. And I am looking forward to the tour. We leave. I will be in Chicago. I might even come to Chicago Saturday. I might come a day early. I might come Saturday. I'm not sure, but for sure, I will be there Sunday. Then we head to Sierra Leone that Monday, and I am looking forward to it. I cannot wait. It's going to be an awesome time. We got a couple of people getting citizenship. So we're going to have a good time in Sierra Leone. With that being said, if you didn't make this trip, we're going to do it again in November. Again, we are going to do it again in November. So if you want to roll to Sierra Leone, hit me up, go to dynastymir.com, send me a message. Again, we're going to roll again in November. Also, we're going to Nigeria in August. So August 16th to the 22nd, we'll be in Nigeria for the Oshun Festival. We are going to have a great time in Nigeria, Omo, Naija, everybody. Any other announcements? Well, guys, I have a special guest on with us today. My brother, Free Blanch, alumni, Christian Brothers High School, everybody. Ran summer track together.
We go
way back, Sacktown, Sacramento. He knew me when I was
Albert Hollis.
He knew me when I was Albert Hollis family. So Christian Brothers High School alumni, Arizona State.
Yep.
Ran summer track. Yep. Coach Silva.
Man. Coach Silva. For the
How's Coach Silva doing? You know?
I have not seen him now. I don't know.
I gotta find out, man. So my brother, Free Blanch, Sacramento's finest in the house, Sacktown. I said, you know what? I see my brother on Instagram. So I'm like, I gotta get him on the stream one day. I gotta get him on. So I saw him on there today, and I was like, you free tonight? He's like, yeah. I was like, cool. You know, I'm last minute about everything, everybody. I'm last minute about everything. But guys, as you come into the chat room, do me a favor and hit that like button. Again, do me a favor and shout out to Doug in the chat room, everyone. And also, too, let me go ahead and share the link on the Facebook page, everyone, on my Facebook page, so everybody come in. But brother Lavelle, go ahead and tell everybody who you are.
Basically, on Instagram, he is Blanchard. On Facebook, Robinson Blanchard. Twitter, I think he is Blanchard on Twitter. Everything is he is Blanchard as far as my social media. I just get on here and just talk, man. You know, just give my thoughts, give my take on the world, politics, women, relationships, everything.
We don't get into all that. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. Topic is Kanye West versus Patrice Cullors, and Black Lives Matter has cashed out. They cashed out, finessed everybody. But see what's crazy? Kanye was the bad guy.
Of course.
He was supposed to be the bad guy. And they, everybody else, they were supposed to be the good people. And look what's going on now.
Listen, man. I tell people all the time, anybody out there fighting against racism, and I use the word fighting against racism, is on the payroll. Because the problem is there has to be an economic solution attached to fighting racism. So all this social injustice stuff is not fighting racism. It's economic. So you have to attack it from an economic point of view, not getting folks to accept you and play is ridiculous. No. So BLM has made billions of dollars and they haven't given the chapters any money.
Right.
Chapters. Forget us, the chapters.
Right.
Not the parents of the, the victims. They haven't given out any money. So, but I knew that though.
But how can how can they get away with that? I just don't understand. And our community, even though towards the end, Black Lives Matter was largely supported by white folks.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how. I mean, how our community, how they fell for the finesse. Still, I mean, ain't no Black Lives Matter. I mean, all the money they raised.
Okay.
You know, at least the NAACP got a building and they actually tried. You know, the Urban League, they at least tried.
They have a building.
They got a building.
Yeah.
A building. They got some type of infrastructure. They tried. Black Lives Matter. Where did the money go? Look, where did the money go? Where did the money go?
Well, you know, the money basically goes to the investors, which is going to be, you know, probably Jewish people and white people. And then the rest of it goes to the actual 3 ladies that run it. So I think they just bought about 5 homes, I think, ranging from 1.4 million to 500 some thousand. They bought 5 homes. So, and again, that's their incentive to keep this thing going. You say finesse, but all it is virtue signaling. That's all it is. They just get you to emotionally charged up about something. It's not. So think about it. They go on the street and they yell out Black Lives Matter, and that makes you feel good. Keep in mind, we're out there chatting Black Lives Matter, but the money is when I tell you money's pouring in, you know we live in Atlanta. You can go. Right. You can go on Pace's Ferry. All the big houses and mansions, right? All the
governor stays over there, right?
All the lawns have Black Lives Matter on them.
Right.
Think about that. All the rich, affluent, white, rich people.
Right.
So that lets you know that it's pretty much mainstream and virtue signaling. It's not real. And then you got corporate America funding them too. So I'm like, how can a movement be funded by corporate America? It's a setup.
But what's so crazy, Free Blanch. I still gotta call you Lavelle or no? Free Blanch.
It don't matter, man. I mean, that's my name. Everybody know me as Free Blanch, though, you know.
Okay, Free Blanch, Free Blanch. Like this is the part. So they became millionaires off of the deaths of Black men. Became millionaires. And none of that money circulated back into the community to improve the lives of Black men, not just Black men, but Black people in general. I mean, we in Atlanta, we in the Black Mecca. There's no, outside of yard signs, there's no like infrastructure or physical presence of Black Lives Matter.
And the one guy that was here, I think his name is Major something. He got arrested.
Sir Major, okay, here we go. This is my question. I'm shifting a little bit. Now, I know you're not a lawyer. I don't know what you do, Free Blanch, but Sir Major got arrested for buying some suits. Okay. He's in jail. You know about that, right? He got arrested for.
I know he got arrested for buying suits.
Well, he took basically the money he raised. He was taking it and buying suits and all types of stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out. And again, I don't know. Sir Major, he's locked up.
Okay.
But everybody else behind Black Lives Matter, the other Black Lives Matter, they buying $1 million homes. And the thing is, just the house I bought here in the West End, like the amount of scrutiny I went to, and I had a job. I was working in corporate America. I had all the docs I could prove, like this is where I'm money coming from. This is it. They still scrutinize heavily. Now we have activists, so-called activists, buying $1 million homes. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to figure out, this is the biggest finesse, Free Blanch. I mean, you don't understand the levels of this finesse. You're an activist and you're acquiring $1 million homes. I'm not hating. I'm not pocket watching. You got your girl, Tamika Mallory. She's doing Cadillac. She's selling Cadillacs now. I mean,
and she has a book.
Well, they all got books.
Okay.
What happened to D-Ray? He kind of disappeared a little bit. D-Ray, I don't know where D-Ray at.
Okay.
But books, selling Cadillacs, buying $1 billion homes. And then on top of that, these are supposed to be Marxist, communists, socialists.
I'm glad you said that. So I keep telling people, this is the problem with our people here. This is the problem with us. So when I say things like communism, we think communism is for white people. We think socialism is for white. We can't contextualize those terms because when they've shown us, communism was Russia for the most part, and then communism was China. We don't conceptualize communism being here in the US. We don't conceptualize socialism being in the US. So the problem is we can't associate these terms with us in these movements. You mentioned being finessed. We've been finessed this whole time. The NAACP, if you go read what they stand for, it's literally not for black people, it's for everybody. The right. NAACP is for everybody, not black people, if you go read. And so the civil rights movement, that wasn't started by us. We didn't do that. We had the faces of it, but it was really backed by the Jewish community and the gays and all the people that get benefit from it now. So we've been getting finesse. The finesse has been in play, but BLM worked better because of social media. So everything started with Trayvon Martin. You got to think now, it was a child that was killed by Zimmerman, and it was a huge deal because Zimmerman wasn't a cop.
Right.
It was neighborhood patrol, so it got a lot of steam behind that. His parents, like, think about that whole ordeal, and everybody blew up from that. But that's where their movement started, off of the death of a young black man. So literally, they get paid off of our death. So George Floyd, you got to think, the whole world was protesting. We're talking about they have made billions of dollars, billions. Mm-hmm. I did a video one time of the guy, it was a white guy, white liberal, and he said he went to the George Soros website and applied for a job. And his job was protest organizer.
He lied.
No. So he said what he does is he's the person that organizes all the major protests in California. It's a hippie looking white dude, long blonde hair, like a stoner type dude. But he says he organizes it. And then who you think shows up and does all the damage? We do. So again, we've been getting finessed. This is nothing new.
Free Blanch, do we enjoy and just turn a blind eye to getting finessed? Like, are we this stupid? Like, I mean, I saw that, like, I would say when Black Lives Matter really started taking off, like 2015-ish, around end of 2015, early 2016, I said, okay, something's not right. Like this, nah, this ain't right. Because I seen the direction the movement was going in. I know they was raising money, but none of that money was circulating to the Black community. But we still could continue to support this movement. And then again, like, we've been quiet about this Patrice Cullors situation. Like, this is not adding up. And I'm not pocket watching, I'm not hating. But again, we got activists selling Cadillacs and buying $1 million homes.
So Kaepernick was an activist, right? He's an activist.
Yeah, but he had a job, NFL.
No, hear me out. He's an activist now, right?
I guess, yeah.
And he signed to Nike. Yeah. So what I'm saying,
the ad, not to cut you off, I think his Nike shoe was like the #1 selling shoe.
I know, of course it was. So what I'm telling our people is that if you see anybody out there fighting against racism, they're already a part of the system, because the design is not to actually defeat racism, it's to perpetuate it. So what they do is they put faces in front of us and they get us to buy into the movements. That's all they're there for, is to get us to buy in. So we go out there and we'll tear the streets up. And then all the money, though, doesn't go to the actual community. The money goes to them. But the money really goes to the folks that actually run the organization. And who is that? We know BLM is George Soros. I don't know who the CEO of Nike is, but all that money goes to them. So the finesse has been in play. It's never not been a finesse. You know, back when, I'm gonna tell you when it wasn't a finesse, the Montgomery boycott.
Right.
That was the only boycott that actually worked. And if you notice, we never did it again. It actually worked, and we never did it again. Think about that. Why would we stop doing it? Why would we sit out for a year? We said we're not going to support your businesses or your buses. The city comes to us and they say, what do you want? Now, we should have said, we want half the city. We should have said our own bus line. We could have said guaranteed jobs. We could have said anything. You know what we said?
Equality. Or
we didn't even say that. We want to sit on the front of the bus. Now, common sense will tell me who's running that movement. It couldn't have been us. It's impossible. There's no way you do all that for a year and just to sit in front of it. It's ridiculous. And during that time period, we had our own businesses and bus companies. So again, what was the point of all of it? The point was to go ahead.
So at that time, because I know we had our own hotels, our own restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah, we had our own bus companies as well.
Yes, we did. Not in Alabama though, but North Carolina though. And you got to think, the first black middle class was Harlem. That was created by us. We actually created Harlem as the first black middle class. So during the most adverse time for us in America, how do we make so many strides? Like, how is it worse now for us economically than it was back then? Again, we don't control the movements. So Patrice, she probably a millionaire. I mean, not in her main account, but she got some. Listen, they got accounts set to the side that we can't look into.
You think so?
Oh, of course. When I tell you, just imagine this. Imagine George Floyd's protest. The entire world was giving them money. The planet. Okay, the first Black Lives Matter movement was started by a guy in LA, a black guy in LA, and he started it because his ex-wife's husband was killed by the police. But he started Black Lives Matter to build a relationship between the police and the black community. That's why he started it. So during this past year, he was receiving millions of dollars.
Really?
Because they thought it was them. So he was having to send the money to them. That's how I know they was making a killing. He was sending the money back. They said if he ever keeps the money, we're going to sue him. So he better send us the money. They even said it. But he's the original guy that actually had his stuff set up, LLC or nonprofit set up before they had their set up. They didn't have their set up in 2015, I think.
Now, do you remember Darren Sills?
No.
So Darren Sills, I think that's the name. Darren Sills was like, so they say Darren Sills also was one of the first, I would say, leaders of Black Lives Matter. He was in Ferguson. And he, back in when Ferguson happened, he called all of them out and said, they're fake and all this and other. And he ended up dead. A lot of these people who got that set off Ferguson, they ended up dead mysteriously.
He did.
Darren Sills was one of them.
He did.
And he was calling it out back then, years ago, that all this is a facade. They took it over.
But it is, though. And so you got to think, all those folks are living well. But you got to ask yourself, can it really be a revolution if corporate America is involved? Honestly, can it really be a revolution if y'all got commercials? I mean, come on. BLM had a commercial this summer. Can it really be a revolution? And if you notice, the commercial started out normal, and then the second half of it was all trans. Because the movement is, not only is it a communist Marxist movement, but it's also for transgender rights. That's their main focus. It's not the black community, it's transgender rights.
Right. This is just interesting. So Kanye, let's get back to Kanye West. So during this time, Kanye West was labeled a sellout, crazy, he off his meds. Look at him now. And look at the other person who was labeled, I think Time Magazine, they labeled her like one of the top women. Mm-hmm. They were on the cover of Time Magazine.
Yeah.
Look what's going on. And I supported Kanye. I was like, why y'all demonizing Kanye? What did he say? That's he's telling the truth.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But so now Kanye's sitting back laughing. I think a lot of people, and this is the thing, we're only in April.
Think about that. All this has happened, and we ain't even halfway to April yet.
Right.
So imagine what it's going to be when it's the summertime. How crazy it's going to be. There's cases You know, the George Floyd case is going to be it's a setup.
Okay, expand on it. Finish your statement. Let's jump into the George Floyd case.
Yeah, so I was just saying that all this is strategic for us. So what they're going to do is George Floyd trial, and conveniently, before the last day of trial, this young man gets killed by the police. Think about that. Think about how convenient the timing is. Before the last day of the trial, they have a police killing a young black man. So now
George Floyd killed in Minnesota too.
Yes.
And the who we're going to get into, he was killed.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So think about this. What's the chances of during George Floyd's trial week in the same place around the same time of the year, it happens again, like clockwork? I'm gonna give you some stat. I'm gonna give you some live. I took some notes because I was like, I gotta
go ahead. Guys, hit that like button. We got 200 people watching. Please hit that like button as you come to the chat room, guys. Again, please share, hit the like button. Go ahead. Free Blanch. Go ahead.
So the young man's name is Daunte Wright. And I don't want you all to think I'm minimizing his death. I'm not. I'm just telling you all that all this stuff is strategic. There's a reason why all the people they hype up are people with a criminal record. There's a reason, because it divides the conversation. If you kill someone, if you kill a young black male going to college or high school, it creates unified outrage. This is a tactic though. So the tactic is you don't have a victim that's clean in a sense. You have a victim that's marred. That way it keeps everybody divided. Because you're gonna have some folks say he was a criminal. Some folks gonna say it didn't matter. Some folks gonna say he resisted. Some folks gonna say it didn't matter. Some folks gonna say the cop was doing their job. Some folks gonna say, so you divide the conversation. So it's never any unification on the issue. This is a tactic though. This is a tactic. This is a communist tactic. Okay, so Daunte Wright, now the officer that shot him, her name was Kim Potter. Now check this out. Kim Potter has been on the force for 26 years. Do you think she knows the difference between her gun and a taser?
She should.
26 years. She's almost ready to retire. So she should know the difference between her handgun on the opposite side of the taser. She should know this, right?
Right.
So why in the video is she saying, I got a taser? Who is she telling?
I guess Daunte. I guess she was telling Daunte.
Why would she tell him? Why would she tell him?
No, I got a taser. Like I got a taser. Like I'm gonna tase you.
I believe she's saying it to make the story sound as if she didn't know she had a gun in her hand, because clearly.
Oh, okay. So she was. So the whole. So see, I didn't see the video yet. I don't want to watch the video.
Yeah.
So the whole time when she had her weapon drawn.
Yes.
But she was saying she got a taser. She got a taser. She got a taser.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So they pulled him over not because of the dangling air fresheners. He had an expired tag. Now I want you to pay attention. He was using his parents' car. So his parents knew the tag was expired. Mm-hmm. He knew the tag was expired. And so did his baby mama. Everybody knows this. So the reason why he got pulled over was because the tags were expired. Okay. Now, the lady, she's a civil rights lawyer and a member of the Minneapolis Police Conduct Oversight Commission, Abigail Sarah. She says, I'm gonna quote her, everyone is on high alert. I don't know why they would be making traffic stops like this at this moment in time. Now, I want you to think now. Listen to what she's saying. So the police should be making traffic stops during this what time? Trial.
Right.
Right. So he had a warrant for his arrest. And the warrant, so on Baller Alert or whatever that thing is on Instagram, the guy says he had a warrant for his arrest. He missed his Zoom trial. He had a warrant for his arrest, and he said because he got sent to the wrong address. No, they have an address in the system. They have so if you don't live there anymore, and you know you got a trial coming up, it's your job to tell them you moved if you move, because what he had a warrant out. He was facing 2 misdemeanor charges for having a handgun on him that he wasn't licensed to carry. And so when the cops saw it, he ran from them. That's how all this started with the going to court in the first place. He had a gun. I'm just giving y'all the facts of the case. Now, it's believed that he was possibly involved in other activities. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. None of that. The officer said in the system, here's what you have was a gross misdemeanor warrant.
The gross misdemeanor.
He said that gross.
So there's levels to misdemeanors.
It's levels to misdemeanors. His was a gross misdemeanor warrant.
Okay.
And I think because
so you can get a warrant for a misdemeanor
if you miss court.
Oh, okay.
But you missed court, but it was for a pistol charge. Mm-hmm. Nobody's factoring in the pistol part. The pistol thing is the issue. To make it, you have to go to trial for this because you ran from the police. They didn't catch you.
Right.
But they eventually had to send you something because they knew you lived. Or you knew something. They had to send you something. Anyway, yeah. So I want to get some facts about the case, but you all know that this is going to set off the riots as we see. They're coming on this plan. And next we have the George Floyd trial. You know that's going to end.
No. How do you think that's going to end? Blanch.
Last year, the coroner said he died from a drug overdose.
What did they say in the trial, though?
In the trial, they're saying everything. In the trial, they're saying the knee, the drugs. In the trial, they're saying everything. The trial, they're basically saying it was wrong to have the knee on the neck. But there's somebody on Instagram. His name is 100 Days of Summer on Instagram. He did the reenactment. He put his knee on his girlfriend's neck, hands behind the back on the ground. She could still breathe. She did it to him. He could still breathe. So if you remember the video, George Floyd was able to still talk. Mm-hmm. And then George Floyd is on video saying that he swallowed too many drugs. He said it. So all I'm saying is, it's believed that he was high, in which he even said he said he did the drugs. So, I mean, that's on the video. But again, they give you a snippet. This is what I'm telling you now. Think about a bad script. You have the officer sitting there with his knee on his neck, with his hands in his pocket. No urgency, no medics. Just think about the scene. Everybody filming, nobody jumping in. His fellow officers looking away, I'm telling you, man, this stuff is a setup. These are actual communist, Marxist tactics because it gets the people to buy into something. And so everybody talked about that 8-minute clip, not realizing the man was talking on the ground with the man's knee on his neck.
Somebody in the chat room said the expert doctor said he died from no oxygen.
That's what an expert doctor said?
Yeah, that's
listen, it's possible, but I also know he was talking. So, and I mean, I don't know. He wasn't DOA. He didn't die on the ground.
All right, let's see here. I'm sorry. Okay, somebody saying that everything you're saying has been shot down in trial, that George Floyd died from the knee to the throat. Yeah,
but it wasn't a knee to the throat, though. So what I'm saying is, I keep telling people it's a setup. I can go and think about it. It was a knee to the back of the neck. Think about it. It was a knee to the back of his neck, and his head is turned this way. Your windpipe is going this way. He was still talking. If anybody wants to try it, just go home and try it. You're going to still be able to breathe. It'll be uncomfortable, but you can still breathe. All this was a setup, though. All this is by design. Because you still got to prove that the officer did this intentionally, trying to kill him, when in their own training manual, they use the knee to the neck. They use it. That's an actual tactic.
Well, guys, we're going to open up the lines here in about 5 minutes. Again, we're going to open up the lines in about 5-10 minutes, and you can call in and ask your questions. So I see a lot of people in the chat room saying they disagree. So what is your prediction on how this case is going to end?
Okay, the purpose of the case is to spark the outrage again, to get these cities on fire again, because the goal is to make America a communist country. So he's going to get off.
You really think so? I don't. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's going to get off. He's going to get off. He's going to get off.
So, guys, Free Blanch said it here that he's going to get off. He's not. They can't. This place is. They're not going to let him.
That's why they had the incident this week with the young man getting shot. I'm telling you what they're going to do. Is people are going to go berserk when he gets off. It's going to be worldwide protests again. Okay, y'all don't believe it's a setup. Last year, the scientists and doctors said out of all those protests that we had going on, it did not increase the spread of COVID.
Which is, I know that's BS.
But think about it though.
I know that's BS.
So that means the powers that be had to be in agreement that this event can't be led to spreading COVID. So what does that mean? There's a reason behind these protests. These are actual tactics. And everybody gets caught up with the imagery, but they're actual tactics because they know folks they're going to see it, internalize it, and then react to it. These are, I'm telling you, it's a setup.
All right, guys, we're going to open up the lines. If you'd like to call in, send me an email, uhuru@searchforuhuru.com, uhuru@searchforuhuru.com. Again, send me an email, and I will forward you the link, and you can call in and ask your question. Free Blanch, I don't think he's going to get off, man. He's going to at least get manslaughter.
He's not going. Okay. He's not going to prison.
He's not going to prison.
He's already taken care of financially. He's not losing his retirement. they are donating him money. So I'm trying to understand what punishment is he getting? He just got more money and an early retirement.
This is what we'll do. I bet you breakfast on me. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Let's go.
Yeah, thumbs up. That's my spot. Thumbs up. That's my spot. Breakfast on me. That if he gets off, I owe you breakfast.
Okay. And if he don't get off, I owe you breakfast.
There we go. Thumbs up. There we go. That's my spot. That's my breakfast spot. So that's what we'll do. So, guys, you saw it here. You saw the bet. If he gets off, I owe him breakfast. If he don't get off, Free Blanch owes me breakfast. Thumbs up. It's my favorite breakfast spot in Atlanta. And so I haven't watched the whole trial. I've been watching little pieces here and there. And he's not getting off.
He's getting off. See, here goes the thing. We look at these trials as actual trials. They're not. They're for the public. They're not actual. They're for the public to get emotionally charged. So what's going to happen is everybody's going to say this. I'm going to give you the script. You mean to tell me the cops just killed the guy and then he gets off? Man, I'm telling you what they're going to do. People are going to go crazy because they need the chaos. Kamala Harris already said the rioting and looting is not going to stop and it doesn't need to stop. She said this last summer.
You know what's crazy? Let me stop you right there. Sorry to cut you off. So after, what's the brother's name that was just killed in Minnesota? What's his name?
His name is Daunte Wright. Daunte Wright.
So Joe Biden comes out and makes a statement saying basically, the rioting needs to stop, right? That is not going to change anything. But last year, under Trump, they were like, burn this stuff down.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, actually, if you listen to them, what they do is it's a double message. So what they'll say is they'll say he was unjustly shot, but don't riot. Really, what you're saying is riot, because you're giving the impression that he was unjustly shot. So once you put that in the air and you say don't riot, what you're really saying is riot. Folks we don't understand that these people have an agenda. This is a masterful plan being played out. This is not about what you all think it is. It's not about social justice. It's not. It's not about ending racism. It's not. It's about making America a communist country. And this is what the Democrats have been doing. The Democrats was pro-slavery for a reason. Joe Biden just said out of his own mouth, the amendments are not set in stone. Think about that. The president of the United
States. When did he say that?
He said that, this is my last video, but he said it, was it last week? He said he said the amendments are not set in stone, which lets you know that just go read the amendments. Go read the 13th Amendment. Go read the 14th Amendment. So this kind of talk lets you know the plans they have for the future. Joe Biden's planning on getting rid of all the freeways that surround the major cities. Why? These are questions you got to ask. What's their bigger goal and agenda? And we don't realize that we're pawns for influence. They use us to influence all these agendas. We don't get any money. We don't get any progress. We don't get anything from these movements. We're just the face and the bodies behind the movements. We're the influencers. We get folks to buy in.
Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Okay, so free Blanch. So we're already in April. So I thought, per everybody, all the police shootings were going to stop once we got Biden and Kamala in office. It's already happened. We're back bombing Syria.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're not moving forward outside against stimulus. We got some more money.
It's a setup. But think about it though. The stimulus is a socialist tactic. Okay, they got $2 billion for the immigrants in New York. Just think for a second, everybody. They have $2 billion for some people that didn't vote for them and aren't even citizens. And they have how much money for Black people? Okay, they promised 11 million jobs to immigrants and 0 for Black people. They promised the Indians, specifically 500,000 jobs from India. How many for Black people? They just gave the Native Americans $31 billion. How much for Black people? Joe Biden gave the police officers $300 million. How much for Black people?
How about to defund the police?
He gave the police $300 million. So what I'm telling you all is that you all are watching a trial, getting your emotions worked up, not seeing it's a bigger play at hand.
What's the biggest play?
And the Asians got 50 million because y'all was
today. Asians got, so this is where I'm confused, free Blanch. Okay. Our so-called Black misleadership. When we I like that. I'm seriously, when Obama was in office and we said Obama needs to do something specifically for Black people, here came Black misleadership. It's unconstitutional. He can't do that. Blase Rage. And then I just saw Biden gave, it was specific, Asian Americans $50 million. I just saw that.
And you also saw the immigrants getting $2 billion in New York. That's specific. And you also saw 11 million jobs for immigrants. That's specific. And you also saw immigrants not having to take a COVID test or get the vaccine and get to come around America and roam free. But they want everybody Black to get a vaccine. So do y'all see the game that's going on? You all are watching a trial and all this stuff is going on around you. It's a setup. All this stuff has, hold on. And Obama did things specifically for the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z community, Native Americans, Jews, and other minority groups, non-Black. He's done stuff for other people. He just told you all he can do it for you. So y'all can worry about George Floyd and go tear the streets up, and you won't get anything for it.
All right, guys. Again, we're going to open up the line. Please call in. Email is uhuru@searchforuhuru.com. uhuru@searchforuhuru.com. Please call in. Ask your question. Again, ask your question. Okay, here we go. Great point. Somebody brought that up. Trump tried to give black folks $500 billion.
Incorrect.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me add to that. So what Trump said 3 million jobs for Black America specifically. Not Biden had a lift every voice and sing plan, a 2-piece and a biscuit plan. That plan wasn't specific for Black people. It was for minorities, people of color, and women. Trump's plan was specific for Black America, 3 million jobs and 500,000 businesses. When Ice Cube met with his team, they added $500 billion to the plan for Ice Cube's plan for Black America. So that was in addition to the already plan they had, the Platinum Plan. So Trump's plan was 2 pages. Biden's plan, 40-some pages. Anybody gonna read through all that? I read it. It's some trash. But Trump's plan was 2 pages, bullet points, very easy to read. All I'm saying is, we talk about voting for the lesser of 2 evils. But what we never talk about voting for is who's going to financially benefit us. We have the wrong mindset with voting. It's economics that controls politics, and then politics controls social issues. We go to social issues thinking it's going to affect politics and then affect the money. It's not how it works. So Biden has literally been handing out billions of dollars and jobs, and zero, he signed the most executive orders in history, and 0 have been for Black America. 0. Everybody else has gotten some. And one more thing before I let you go talk. He said the transgender rights are the new civil rights of today. No excuses. So what does that mean? That means civil rights now is based on what? Gender identity and not color. Okay.
All right. So Lavelle, let's focus on Atlanta. You know, we're in Atlanta, the Black Mecca, so-called. The so-called Black Mecca. Right.
Go ahead.
Just give me your opinion. Because Black folks a lot of Black people take it personal, because I see what's going on here. But people take it personal when you say, look, it's not, first you got to define Mecca, right? So once you come to the definition of Mecca, is Atlanta the Black Mecca? Can it be a Mecca once you come to the definition of Mecca?
Not based on definition. Think about it. The Black Mecca would mean everybody's coming here, right?
Right.
Everybody Black is coming here.
There's a lot of Black people coming here, though.
Chicago has the most Black people in one city.
Really?
Yes. I look at all the numbers. Chicago is the greatest example you're going to see of Black America. So just look at how Chicago is ran, and that is Black America. Sound bad, don't it?
I'll be in Chicago this weekend, so I'm looking forward to it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're gonna see.
Yeah, because they say Atlanta's the Black Mecca.
No. It's like 3 million Black people in Chicago. 3 million.
Okay. Outside of population, right?
Wow.
Why isn't Atlanta the Black Mecca? I tell people this and they get upset. Atlanta is white, corporate owned, Black managed. And people they get upset about that. But it's the truth.
100% agree. Atlanta is white corporate, Black managed, and Black majority of that is service industry working. I did a video before on how Atlanta was not Wakanda. And I went to Atlanta had the 2nd largest wealth gap in the nation.
Right.
That don't sound very Mecca-like, Black Mecca-like. We have the 2nd largest wealth gap.
Guys, again, if you want to call in, email is uhuru@searchforwho.com, uhuru@searchforwho.com. So where is this ship heading called America come this summer? Because I mean, it's a lot going on, like already. Where's this heading? So
this summer we're going to be hit with a few things. We're going to be hit with the adverse reactions from the jab. We're going to be hit with the protests. We're going to be hit with the lockdown. So basically, they want to do controlled chaos because the goal is to lock everything down. That's the goal, to shut everything down. And then you have people begging for their freedoms. So these are all playbook tactics. These are all playbook tactics because the goal is for America to start out as socialist, eventually be communist, and then be a dictatorship. So they're all working with China. BLM, I did a video. BLM is even working with China. BLM is even linked to China. Harvard's linked to China. So when China takes over this country, it's over.
Okay, Salone Messenger, I got your email, brother. Salone Messenger, I gotta connect with you. I'll be in Salone Messenger, next week. We need to connect and talk to. Hey, so brother Salone Messenger, I want to get him on the show. He has his own WhatsApp. He developed his own WhatsApp.
Oh, that's dope.
So, yeah, it's dope. No, that's not that, brother. Hold on, it's not that, brother. We'll connect next. Week. Salone Messenger. We'll connect next week. But guys, you want to call in to ask a question? Somebody said New York has the largest Black population.
The city of Chicago. Hold on, let's see. How many is in New York then? Give me the number.
I don't know. Somebody give us a number.
I told you 3 million.
Right.
I'm talking about Black Americans.
Somebody said NYC has the most Black people, 2.3 million. Chicago's not even close according to the census.
I don't want to misquote myself.
Somebody said 789,000 in Chicago.
I'm about to look. Because that's showing what I read. Yeah, Chicago.
All right, let's see here. All right, brother, Maximilian, I just sent you the link. Go ahead and call in. I just sent you the link. Like I said, we're going to take a couple of callers. Somebody said Detroit has more Black people than Chicago. I don't know.
No, that's not true.
I just sent you the link, brother. Brother Maximilian just sent you the link. Go ahead and call in. Let's see here. Jason Massey, I just sent you the link. And Table for One, I just sent you the link as well. Like to get you brothers on. New York City has a population of 8 million Black people. I don't know about that. That seems a little too high.
No, they counting in, everybody. Island, they probably counting in everybody.
Okay, so you're saying 80 OS Black people.
Yeah.
Chicago has the most. Anybody want to try to refute that in the chat room? Somebody said Chicago doesn't have 3 million people, period. I don't know. So
no, it doesn't. I'm my bad. It doesn't. I was thinking that's something else. Chicago has the second largest at 913,000.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Guys, in order to call in, send me an email.
What's going on, Dennis?
Hold on 1 second, family. Let me just make this announcement. Guys, you want to call in and ask a question? Send me an email, uhuru@searchforahuru.com. uhuru@searchforahuru.com. All right, Maximilian, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, what's going on, Dennis?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, it takes a little delay to get me set up on your connection, man. I think you already know that, though.
Okay.
But can you hear me, Dennis?
I hear you just fine.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to what your brother was saying, man, about how Black people not getting none of this money from Donald Trump. The reason that some of us not getting the money, we don't have our credit set up right, brother. I got EIDL loans, I got PPP loans, I got almost $2 million from the government. The point is, there's money out there, but if you got a 500 credit score, and you ain't set up to get these loans, there ain't no bank gonna loan you if you're not set up for no loan. I don't care what color you are, bro. When you fill out an application, as long as you have the assets and you have the financial paperwork to put together, you can get anything that you want. The problem with black people is, and I'm just gonna be honest about it, Dinus, we don't keep up with our paperwork. We don't keep up with our taxes. We don't file our stuff correctly. We don't go to the bank with the numbers. Banks don't care about your color. Banks care about green, brother. And
I disagree with that one.
Hold on, just one thing. So when I was talking about money, I was talking about people getting money from the Biden administration that didn't have to do with any kind of credit checks. They were getting money because they were immigrants, or they were illegal immigrants, or they were they're getting money for who they are.
Right.
That's different than me applying for a PPP loan. That's something different. They're getting money because they're trans, or because they're Native American. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference.
I understand what you're saying. I understand,
yeah, but I get what you're saying, but that's not what I'm talking. They're giving them money for just existing.
Let's just be honest now. Joe Biden has been in office for 45 days, or 3 months. Donald Trump has been there for 4 years, and it sounds like you kind of saying that Trump was doing something. I don't recall Trump doing nothing for black people.
Yeah, he did. Well, okay. So
he talked a good game. He talked a good game.
I know, but what you gotta do is we gotta start cutting CNN off, and then we gotta just start reading. So if you go to, I'll give you a prime example, District 7 in Baltimore. Now, when he was questioning Elijah Cummings' district, everybody said he was racist. But the reason why he's questioning the district is because he gave the district alone $18 billion in grant money. How much of that money went to the people? The district is over 70% black.
Well, now don't mistake what he said. He said that Baltimore's a crime-filled ghetto.
And the residents agreed. And the residents,
it is. That's from Baltimore.
Well, you know, I don't think you can holistically say that about any city. You know, you could say that about Alabama.
But the residents agreed though.
But you ain't never heard him say nothing about Mobile, Alabama, about being some redneck trailer park trash.
Yeah, he didn't give them 18 billion either.
So are you serious?
So what I'm telling you is the black leadership, as Dinah says, the black misleadership had $18 billion to do something for black people. The district is 71% black. Why didn't the money go to the district? Baltimore has 49,000 abandoned homes. Kim Klasick did the math. Matter of fact, here goes some simple math. Okay. They could have given each adult in District 7 in Baltimore, each adult, whether white or black, $40,000.
Right.
They got zero.
Now, brother, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Dinah. This brother got a lot of statistics, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe half of your statistics, because I don't think any.
You know, let's do this while we're on there. Hold on, I'm gonna look up. Hold on, let's see here. Federal funding district.
They got it in 2018.
Because I've never heard of African Americans being offered $40,000. I've never heard.
No. Listen, no. I know. I gave an example what they could have did with the money. I never said they got to offer the money. That's my point. My point is they didn't do nothing with the money for the people. Trump had opportunity zones for a reason, to build up the inner city and the communities.
Bruh, now one thing I'm not gonna let you do. Now I'm gonna be honest. I just can't sit on here and let you sit in and make Donald Trump out of some savior for the black community.
But you making it moral. I'm talking about money. You making it emotional. It's about money. It's not personal.
I've never made. First thing, let's get to this. And Dinah, so let's get back. Let me bring this back to where it needs to be. If it was about money, I would be about the Republicans. I like low taxes. They don't call me Maximilian for nothing. But the point is, it's about my people. It's about the person that makes $15 an hour. It's about the person that works. But let me finish. I'll let you talk. It's about the person that makes $17 an hour trying to get the minimum wage, trying to get home ownership up. That's what Joe Biden is trying to do.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
Well, it's not going to happen if we keep saying it was not going to happen.
Maximilian,
at least he's trying.
hold on, Maximilian. You can't afford a home making $17 an hour.
You can afford a home if you don't de-gentrify the community. When you take like on Bankhead, you from Atlanta, just like I'm from Atlanta,
But
right?
Maximilian, who's gentrifying the communities? Republicans are white liberals?
White liberals.
So no.
That's not entirely true.
Maximilian, they all got. I live in the West End. Maximilian, all these white folks in the West End got Black Lives Matter strong signs, man. Come on,
but now real estate or corporations is not a Democrat or Republican thing. That's a corporation.
Hey, white man.
Like, come on, stop.
You gotta keep it.
I'm just being honest, bro. Now
I live in the West End.
Well, I live in Atlanta too.
Did you find these neighborhoods? They got Black Lives Matter placards everywhere.
They're not
front yard signs everywhere. T-shirts, businesses everywhere. Murals painted on their walls everywhere. What are you talking about?
But now at the same time, the mayor of Atlanta is pushing that 25% of that housing has to be affordable housing.
Okay, Maximilian, stop the show. Define affordable housing in Atlanta in 2021?
Affordable housing in Atlanta is anything about 100,000 and below. That's anywhere in America.
It's not going to happen, bro. Affordable housing in Atlanta is if you're a city employee and you make about $60,000 a year.
Right. So you got a $150,000 house.
But again, let's break 60,000. What demographic of people make $60,000 a year in Atlanta? What's the percentage, Maximilian? Maximilian, come on, bro.
What? Now I don't know what the percentage. I don't.
I live in Atlanta. Most black people live in Atlanta.
Honestly, I would say half of the people in Atlanta make about $35,000 to $60,000 a year.
You went from 35 to 60. We're talking about 60 and up. The people making 35 they can't buy. Okay, listen. Hold on. Listen, I live in Atlanta. Just 3 years ago, right? They were saying, okay, once the city started gentrifying and everything became expensive, they started saying, okay, you got to move outside the perimeter, which is 285. And to be specific, south and east and a little bit west. Yeah. Now, all that is overpriced. I don't know who could afford what in Atlanta in 2021.
But Dennis, can I be honest with you? I was looking at something, I think it was a DW documentary. Can't nobody afford to live in California. They can't afford to live in LA.
Right.
That's just not an Atlanta
thing. Do you really think raising minimum wage to $17 is going to get somebody a house?
You know why?
Well, it's better. It'll get them a house before $7. Will Dinah?
Listen to me. It's by design. There's a reason why they're doing it. I keep telling y'all, it's a setup. This ain't happening by happenstance. Why do you think Joe Biden is offering first-time owners $15,000? You know why? It's going to destroy the market. You're going to flood the market with buyers.
But that is not against black people. It's white people on the streets too that can't afford these houses, man.
Black people are the most.
Dennis, be honest about that.
Black people are affected the most.
We're the most impoverished group in the country. We're the most impoverished group.
I mean, I live in Atlanta. Like I do real estate on that. I live in Atlanta. I see what's going on.
I've been in since '97, bro. I got it tattooed on my arm. I feel you. So
okay.
I've been in since 2000.
The only thing I'm trying to say, Dynasty, I can't argue with the economics in Atlanta.
And Maximilian, not to cut you off.
It's bad.
You said people can't afford to live in California. Who runs California? Is California a red state?
It's not a red state.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
But people can't afford to live in Florida, which is a red state. It's anywhere that there's a metropolitan city.
No.
People are being pushed out of the city.
Folks can afford to live in Miami. Folks can live in Florida. People can live in Florida.
Well, you can live in Georgia.
Yeah, but you can't live
in Atlanta.
But when we say the whole state of California, you can't live in the whole state.
But that's not the situation in Georgia.
I know. You know why? Because it's a red state. I know.
That's Mississippi.
I know.
Yeah, that's anywhere. You can drive anywhere out of any southern city, and can't nobody argue with me about this. Any southern city from Jackson, Mississippi to Dallas, if you drive an hour outside of town, you can stay anywhere for $500 and call me a lie. But when you move inside of a city, the problem that we're having is, Dynasty, I'm just being honest, that we as African Americans, we need to build ourselves up to the money level that we need to be at too, brother. You just can't stay impoverished forever. And a lot of that has to do with social economics, brother, is that all we want to do is work for the city. Don't nobody want to create their own businesses. And in this world, either you create your own business or you get ran over. And that's just the problem. And I'm just telling you the truth. You can live anywhere you want to live, Dennis. I can live anywhere I want to live. It's a lot of people in Atlanta can live where we want to live. I feel bad for the people who cannot, but they have to progress and build themselves up to the level. Ain't no such word as can't.
Most people in Atlanta are in the service industry working. The majority of black folks here work in the service industry. They can't afford to do it. It's based on the industry. You just said people want to work for the city. So what I'm telling you is that's by this. Listen, why would you vote for something that's going to hurt you? Joe Biden promised 11 million jobs to immigrants. There's only 42 million black people. We're talking about a third of the jobs being cut out from us. It doesn't make any sense.
I understand what you're saying.
Hold on.
I'm not going to let y'all go.
Everything you're telling me gets countered by Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden is handing out money to everybody except the folks that actually need it, which is us.
See, now Dennis, maybe I think differently. And I'm just going to have to say this, and I do think differently about this. Politicians don't make me. I moved to Atlanta with $175 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Maximilian, that was 20 years ago. Listen,
but the point, let me finish.
You came here on the horse and buggy, man. Stop.
Let me finish. But it's all
with a mule, man. Stop.
Maxwell, listen. When I graduated from the University of Georgia in 2005, and I moved to Atlanta in 2006, you can get a nice 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in the city for $700 a month.
I got you.
Nice, laid out. Now you could in Atlanta. When I got out of college, when I came to Atlanta, I was living comfortable. I was comfortable.
Yeah, Marietta, I agree with you.
$1,500 a month, comfortable.
$1,500
a month. Those days, like the glory days, are over. Like the days of coming to Atlanta. Me and Free Blanch from Cali come to Atlanta. Atlanta's known for Freaknik, and you can get you a mini mansion on an acre for $100,000.
Mini mansion.
Those days are over.
175.
They're done.
But come on, but that's any city that's progressing. That's any city that's progressing. But the point now this is where I'm trying to get to. Y'all keep cutting me off.
Go ahead.
We as African Americans, we're not progressing. You can't come here and move here and be working as a waitress. In 20 years from now, you still a waitress. You're gonna get ran through. And that's any city in this world. If you don't progress, you're gonna fail. And the point what I was telling you about, now this is what I'm gonna end my little point is. The reason I was telling you about the $175 is if I can do it, anybody else can do it. You have to move forward. That's my only point. And Joe Biden ain't got nothing to do with it, and Donald Trump ain't got nothing to do with it.
This is my problem with Max. This is my problem with Max. It's my problem with Max. Max is a black conservative. He's not a black Democrat. He's a black conservative.
That vote
Democrat. He don't count because his values are conservative. He knows how to make money for himself. The average black person is voting against their interests. They're not conservative.
Well, at the same time, I do vote for Democrats because it's not about me.
It ain't about your people either. Democrats don't want to do nothing for black people.
Well, they want to do a whole lot more than Donald Trump and them Republicans do. You got to pick your leaders, bro.
Time out.
Now you can't sit in. These Republicans are trying to take your right to vote, bro. And what you think they trying to do for you?
Brandon.
ID. Just go get ID.
Brandon, hold on.
Go ahead. Hold on, Brandon.
Brandon, listen, Brandon. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna say Brown promise, Brandon. Max.
Sure.
You just told me that if you can come here to Atlanta with a mule and a buggy and a satchel with $175, you can make it. Anybody can make it, right?
Well, that's the old saying. If you can't make it in Atlanta, you can't make it nowhere.
Okay,
I'll tell anybody that's the truth.
Hold on. Now, what do the Democrats preach? Do they preach that?
Yes.
What? What?
Well, I'm sorry. That's what I heard from
Democrats don't say that.
Well, I went to Jackson State, which we are all Democratic, and yeah, come on, you act like Democrats think that we shouldn't achieve.
They do.
How do you think black people achieve what our grandparents and our great parents achieved?
They were conservative. We've
always did beat the odds, brother.
Maximilian,
Brandon, go ahead, Brandon.
Maximilian, you were in the trucking industry, right?
Well, yeah, I'm in the oil industry.
Okay, oil industry. Tell me why you are in oil. That's your job. Vernon Jones, a Democratic elected official in Georgia, has come out on the record and said that the Democratic Party has left black people behind. This brother, Free Blanch, has came with facts and facts and facts. As a man, that's a black man, this is a generational disconnect. This brother produced facts. You got 3 young brothers, 30 in their 30s, who really be researching, telling you the Democratic Party is no longer the party that you thought it was, or that maybe it was in the 90s. Your answer to us is the facts don't matter. My emotions matter more than the facts. And then you guys wonder why we have this generational disconnect. We trying to tell y'all something that y'all don't know. You're busy running a company. You don't have time to sit in front of the computer and research stuff all day like we do. I sit at home majority of the day not doing anything. But when we bring you the information that's factual, you're like, nah, dismiss that. In exchange to listen for listening to CNN, Stacey Abrams, sound bites, 2 minutes. We'll give you 3 hours of facts, and you'll dismiss your younger brothers. We young enough to be like your son, probably. You will just throw away what we're telling you based off of our research, right? Based on sound bites that you hear on the radio or in 5 minutes when you can listen to CNN. Then you say blacks have to do it ourselves. You are a conservative. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. That's what you're preaching, which is conservative values. But you have become emotionally attached to liberal ideology. You simply dislike Donald Trump as a person, but you don't have any real issue with anything he's doing. Free Blanch was totally right about Baltimore. Every real black man knows that. Free Blanch is totally right about gentrification. Every real black man knows that. Why are our older men fighting us on what we know for sure based on purely ego and emotion? And at the end of the day, when you tear it all down, rip the husk off of it, that's what it is. My daughter is 12. There's things my daughter knows that I don't know because I don't care about TikTok and all that. But I'm not going to sit up and argue her over what she knows about TikTok or Gotcha Life or Roblox. She knows that shit. She's on it all day. You're arguing us about things we sit up. I went to school and majored in political science. We know about this shit. We've been looking at this because it's impacting us. You've been good. So you're not paying attention to the same stuff we're paying attention to. We gonna have to learn to put our egos to the side, especially the older ones among us, or we're never gonna make progress because you're shutting down the avenues for information. But when the deed is done and we're all homeless, walking around like migrants, there's nothing you're going to be able to say other than pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So why not just go with the values that reflect that now so people can do it instead of selling people a liberal pipe dream until they get to the point where they got no other choice and now they're suffering in the streets and then you're like, well, just pull yourself by your bootstraps. You're sending a mixed message, brother. You're trying to go in 2 different directions at one time, and that's why you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay, Dinus, can I respond to that?
Yeah, well, and Brad,
I'm not going. No, you know me, brother. You know I always try to keep it positive, bro. Now, first thing, I'm 49. I'm not that much older than you. And the second thing about it is Vernon Jones lost his political power in DeKalb County. I know Vernon Jones personally. He was a womanizer. He stole from the county, and that's why he lost his position.
Now you're on moral issues. You tear them down. You tearing down his character to defend the Democrats.
No, he had to resign from his position for stealing money, bro. That's just the truth.
All right, bro.
But now let's get back to what I was saying. So Vernon Jones is nothing to me. Anytime that you will spend your whole life trying to push up for black people, as soon as you lose your power, you go running up to Donald Trump begging for some crumbs.
Everybody else did.
I didn't.
Everybody else did.
He switched Republican before he lost his position. What are you talking about? He came out against the Democrats while he was still in office.
And you see what happened to him, right? Nothing. He didn't get nothing. He still sit down in the cab counter with nothing. He's like that Stacey Dash stuff. Don't turn on me trying to get some position, bro. I ain't never turn on my people. But let's move.
He's trying to help you. He's trying to help you, but you too enamored by Democratic politics to see that he's telling you the truth.
Now I'll let you talk. Now let me talk. So now you said that you sit at home every day and you study, right? I'm out here doing it. I'm out here making these business deals. I see people coming up from starting with one little dump truck, and now they got 15 dump trucks. People who've listened to me. I have one guy that started here a couple of years ago with one truck. He's got 13 now. He's 25 years old. I'm not trying to shoot you down, but what I'm trying to do, I don't let you make excuses for yourself. When you tell me we can't do it, see, I didn't lose respect for you already. Ain't nothing in this world you cannot do. So I
never said we couldn't do anything. I never said we couldn't do anything.
But I let you talk. I let you talk. Let me talk. Like I tell
you're talking about moral issues. I talked about facts. That's a difference.
Okay, it's opinions, brother. Just let me get mine.
It's a fact.
Let me get mine in. I'll let you get yours in. And like I tell my son all the time, he's like, Daddy, how do I be like you? I don't want to. He just told me yesterday, I don't want to get dirty like you. I just offered to buy him 2 dump trucks in Mississippi. He said, I don't want to work like that, Daddy. I don't want to break my back the way you did. But you will call me and ask me for $5,000. That's a problem with y'all generation.
No, you're raising him on liberal politics.
Thank you.
You're raising him on liberal ideology when you're a conservative, bro. Bro, when my daughter is 12, if I give my daughter $15 and say, baby, go buy some ice cream for your cousins. My daughter say, Dad, why don't we say this so we can buy something bigger than ice cream? I'm raising my daughter based on conservative ideology. You're raising your son on conservative, so of course he's going to ask for a handout. My daughter better never tell me I don't want to work hard or break my back. You know what? She'll be in the yard working hard, breaking her back. You do one thing, but you say something else. What you say is not what you do, Max, and you know it's true because you're a business owner, you're intelligent, and you know we have a point, but you'll never concede that point because you're going to stand on your ego, and that's okay.
I stand on what's worked for me, and I've seen it work for so many other people. Now, I think we're saying the same thing. We're just saying it in a different way. I really do. And I think what I'm saying is we can never take the personal responsibility away from each other. And I don't look at Donald Trump. I don't look at George Bush. I don't look at Clinton. I look at myself. Every day that I get up in the morning, I try to go do something better than I did yesterday. And I think that's the problem. Now, this is my opinion. This is the problem with most black men. We do not take authority of ourselves and take responsibility for ourselves. You know, like you said, I sit there like everybody knows how to do the research. Nobody wants to do the work. You can research all you want to, but until you get up off your ass and get out there and do something, you ain't gonna never get that.
Let me cut you off, guys. With that being said, make sure you go buy my book, Get Off Your Ass and Cold Call. Or go to Amazon.com.
I said it just right there.
That's your book?
That's my book. You know, right book.
Oh, you should have told me, man.
Maximilian, can I say something?
Anytime, brother.
You're telling me I don't pay attention to politics. I don't care about Donald Trump, Joe Biden. Bro, if you could explain to me, and this is what I want you to tell me about your field.
Okay.
When the United States is producing its own oil, you're in the oil business. That directly benefits you and your business, which empowers you to hire more black faces. How a man in the oil industry could support a presidential candidate who is wholesale dismantling the oil industry, ran on dismantling the oil industry, not to save the environment, because you know it doesn't, because my family's a big oil family, simply to take the oil jobs from America and move them overseas, which will be doing the same polluting, How can you support someone who literally wants to dismantle the industry you're in, but say you love black people and you want to, and I know you hire black. Why would you want to support someone who takes the power away from you to empower your people economically? Explain that. And that proves that you are voting based on emotion, not fact. Can you explain that to me?
First thing, let's say this first. Anybody in the oil business does not discuss the oil business. You already know that part. So, but let me explain this. The problem that the oil business is going on in the oil business is more than in here in America. It's Saudi Arabia. It's a whole lot of things going on, but I'm diversified. But in the end of the day,
you deflected, Max.
No, you're really deflected. You deflected. We were producing our own.
I'm trying to answer his question.
Nah, you trying to skate.
Is that when you're in my business, you used to the oil prices going up and down. It does it all the time. We went bottom out in 97, went bottom out in 08. The oil business goes up and down. So this is nothing to do with America. This is a nest. Even Nigeria's having this problem. Saudi Arabia's having this problem. Russia's having this problem. We all losing money in the oil business. But I do more than just oil. I got burnt about 10 years ago on that. So I diversified myself so I won't get set up on one source of income.
Maximilian, we're not asking about what you're doing. We're not, no. See, we're not asking about what you're doing personally. We're asking, why would a black man vote for a person who's dismantling an entity that empowers him to hire more people? You're knowledgeable about the oil industry. All my friends who then went to prison and did 20 and 25 years get out, first place they go is go work at the oil refinery making some good money. Right. They go out to Dakota, Wyoming making some good money. All I'm saying is you prove that you're voting emotionally with the way you're voting, because you're voting against your own direct best interest, because the guy who you voted for wants to dismantle the industry that you are in. And I'm going based on in the beginning when you were first on here, you said, I'm in the oil industry. Why would a black man vote against himself? And what I'm telling you is it's a sign of the generation. Our older men and women for decades have voted against their own best interest. And so that's all you guys know how to do. So of course it's going to be confusing to you when we vote different for ourselves. You're like, no, that's not right. It's like an old slave on the plantation. It don't make sense to run away to him when the young dude's like, we out of here. I'm not saying that to insult you, but you can even see in your own seed how the liberal policies don't work. What I'm telling you is you and everyone older, you're gonna have to learn to humble yourself. There's a better way of doing things that you guys just didn't master. It doesn't mean you couldn't be successful, but you still gotta realize things have changed. Black folks think different now, and you guys should support us 100% because you should be thrilled by the fact that we're taking the lead. But y'all gonna stand on that ego.
Okay, that Diners, we ain't gonna keep going back and forth, but I'm gonna say this much. You keep telling me I should have to listen to you. You should have to listen. You listen to me until you get what I got.
Here we go. We can't get what you got. We can't get what you got.
You just
if you will listen to me, you can.
Max, we can't get what you got because you are voting to dismantle what you got. How can we take something that you're going in the house, sitting at the table eating dinner, then burning the fucking house down, then saying y'all should be able to go in there and eat dinner just like I did? We can't. You're taking away the opportunities you had with your terrible voting practices. We can't go into oil and get what you got because you're voting to dismantle the freaking oil industry.
When you get rid of that word can't, then man, you could talk.
Oh man! All right, man.
And I'm gonna go, man. I'm gonna go. I love y'all.
We love you, Max.
I just don't use that word can't, man. I don't even know what it means.
You ain't
actually trolling now, but we love you.
I love y'all. I love y'all, brothers.
We love you. Dinus, that is the generational curse right there. They burning the house down after they leave, talking about why can't y'all do it? Because they're voting based on emotion. White men sit down and look what's best for our future generations. Yeah, the earth is getting polluted, but a lot of black men are in this industry making money. My stepfather is making damn near $200,000 a year in the oil industry. Thank God he left America and went to Egypt to live, to go be a consultant out there. He knows more about oil than Max. Max is at a low level of the oil industry. He told me straight up, Joe Biden is terrible for this country, and the stuff he's talking about ain't impacting no environmental changes. He's just using that to trick moderates into voting for him. He understands if it's not about him, he has to vote for his kids. If it's about the kids, you might not always vote for what you prefer, what make you feel good, but you got to vote for what's going to benefit them. And so when we came on and said, vote for Trump, Maximilian, if it was about us, he should have said, well, vote for Trump because the younger dudes is trying to get their stuff because I already got mine. And Trump would have benefited him anyway because we was producing our own oil. We hustling backwards. We fighting against ourselves. And it's our older generation who's doing it, and they've now taught the younger generation to do it, and we wonder what the disconnect is. And if we talk about this, we disrespectful. We disrespectful. We out of line. We got no respect. But respect gonna have to go. We're gonna have to sacrifice some respect if we want to survive. You feel me? And he's proof. But I'm gonna get out of here, Dynas. Hey, Free Blanch, thank you. You were 100% on point as usual. Dynas, you were on point. There was only one person in the room that was off code, and we all know who that was.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Brandon.
All right, table for one. Go ahead.
Hey, Dynas, can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Go ahead.
Awesome. All right, hey guys, look, appreciate you letting me on here. One thing I noticed, I was listening to the whole discussion and everything. It seems like we're fighting within ourselves. This is not necessary. I mean, deciding, saying, oh, we gotta put Democrat or we gotta put Republican. Democrat is bad, Republican is good, and vice versa. I don't think that's what black people need to do. You know, what we need to do, I kind of agree with Max, because Max has the millennium mentality. And this is what I think, right? Wealthy people don't care who's the president. They don't. They don't give a rat ass who the president is. It could be Biden, it could be Trump. But you know what wealthy people care about? They care about how they capitalize on the policy. What policy can benefit them? They lobby the government, they lobby the president. They don't never see one mention one wealthy person that ever come out and say, I want Biden to be president or I want Trump to be president. You will not see one of them. That's because that's not how they operate. And just that's one thing. Another thing I think black people needs to get more education. If you have gotten one, I think everybody needs to go back to school. For real. Black people needs to go back to school because this is what happens when you go back to school. You learn, you come out with some skills. You don't have to depend on the government if you work. You can create work for yourself. You can use your brain to create work for yourself. Take, for instance, the crypto industry, the cryptocurrency. People are becoming millionaires every day from cryptocurrency. Black people, young or whatever you are, if you have just enough computer skill, a few dollars in your pocket, you can become a millionaire just trading on cryptocurrency. But if you're dumb, you're not going to be able to take advantage of that opportunity because you require some computer skill. You require some financial knowledge. It requires economics, and that's where we're going to get that information from if we go to school. We can create our own wealth. We shouldn't care about what Biden is doing. We shouldn't care about what Trump is doing because there's more racists in America than black. You know what I mean? So those people are surviving. The Hispanic are surviving. The Jewish are surviving. The whites are surviving. Why we gotta worry about who's in power? Why? I don't understand that aspect.
Well, table for one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to assume that you are an immigrant. Am I correct?
Yeah, everybody's an immigrant.
Okay, so that means.
Hold on. What you mean everyone's an immigrant?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Everyone's an immigrant.
Well, everyone ain't a damn immigrant.
You an immigrant.
No. Well, America started as an immigration.
Listen, now, listen. Table for one. Listen, table for one. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
No, no, she from here, and it doesn't matter.
Listen. So what I'm telling you is that this is what you and Max don't realize. You don't realize that you all have conservative values, which means for the most part, you all won't be affected by whoever's president. It won't affect you all as much because what you all are doing is you all are really conservatives, but socially you're Democrats and liberals. What I'm telling you is this: the policies of Democrats do affect Black people. So they've already done studies, and the studies show that when immigrants come over to America, the groups that are most affected by immigration is Black people and specifically Black men. So that means that when immigrants come over here, they take away jobs from Black people. That's a fact. That's not a thought, or it's a fact. So what I'm telling you is that the Democratic policies actually, their policies, they sound good on CNN and they sound good on commercials, but they actually are detrimental to us because what it affects us on is on the economic level. We're talking about jobs.
Okay, let me ask you something, Fred. Look, okay, so would you rather not to have immigrant comes to America because we were afraid that they're going to take away your job? Is that what you would rather have? You want a policy that stops immigrants from coming to America? Is that what you want?
No. What I want is I don't want somebody that's not a citizen getting something over me. Just like if I went to your home, just like if I went to your home country, I couldn't just sneak in and surpass the people that was there.
Everybody, let me interject. Let me interject. So I'm a citizen of 3 countries: Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and America. In Sierra Leone and in Nigeria, there are certain laws in place that protect citizens first.
Thank you.
Over immigrants or foreigners or non-residents.
Refugees.
Right. So I don't know what country you're from. Like, for example, in Sierra Leone, you can't buy land if you're not a resident. If you're not a citizen of Sierra Leone, you can't buy land. You can't own real estate. In Nigeria and Sierra Leone, you cannot start a business and not have a citizen of that country be a co-owner or be part of that business. So there are certain laws in place that protect the best interests of citizens of that country. But when it comes to America, and we bring this stuff, and people like Free Blanch brings that up, all of a sudden, xenophobic, you're anti-immigrant. But when I go, again, I'm Nigerian, Sierra Leonean, and trust me, like, in order to do, if you're a foreigner and you want to do business in these countries, you have to partner with a local. You have to. You can't own land in a lot of these countries. Like in Ghana, in Ghana, if you want to start a business as a foreigner, it costs like double the amount, triple the amount, quadruple the amount, and you got to partner with a local versus if you're a citizen. So I just get confused when people like Free Blanch bring this up, and all of a sudden it's like he's xenophobic, he's this, that, and the other. But then the countries that a lot of our immigrant brothers and sisters immigrate from, that's law.
Well, so Daniel, so this is where I have a problem, because I think we're mixing a couple of things up. America is first, it's a free land for everybody, right? Like I said before, everybody's an immigrant. So,
Okay. Table for one. Oh no, bro. If I were to go to like Eritrea or Ethiopia and say the same thing, Ethiopia is a free land for everybody. They look at me like I'm crazy. If I went to Ethiopia or Eritrea or any of these countries and I stepped foot and I said, this is a free land for everybody, I want all the rights of a local Ethiopian or Eritrean, they will run me out of there.
Well, that's Eritrea and Ethiopia, right? That policy that you guys are
talking about. That's all countries.
Let me finish. It's an economic policy, okay? Every country can pick their economic policy. China had the same policy you're referring to, the diners. You have to partner with a citizen in China to be able to own a corporation. You know, America can do that policy, but you know, you guys are not looking at the repercussion of making that kind of policy, right? China might be an exception, right? They run a communist government. They've managed to, you know, to build some wealth for their citizens and stuff, you know, but there are extreme situations they have to deal with because of that policy. You know, they still have foreign direct investment coming into that country. In fact, China is the #1 country in the world with the most foreign direct investment, right? So in America, Trump tried this policy. He almost collapsed the economy. It's called protectionism. Let me finish. It's called protectionism. What you do is that you pretty much stop everybody from coming into your country in a way, symbolically. They cannot invest in your country, you know, without certain conditions. They can't do a certain stuff in your country. No competition in your country because you know what? Companies are afraid to compete with other companies that are from global countries, right?
That's not true.
My problem is that when you do that, you know, you stifle capitalism because that's America. America is built on capitalism, you know, which means that this is sure something.
That's not true.
Compete. You have to compete in America to be able to be successful.
That's not true.
We cannot sit back and wait for the government to make policies that will benefit you and me. I do not.
That's not true. Trump did not collapse the economy. That's not true.
No, the policy that he was implementing was a protectionist policy, which means let me finish. You know, first of all, he destroyed the North American Trade Alliance.
Table for one. No. Table for one. The economy was doing great until COVID.
Thank you.
The economy was booming. The economy was booming until COVID.
We had COVID. That's one problem. But we have bad economic policy. China was doing just fine during the same COVID period. So what did they do? What did China do different?
Yeah, China was getting over. Do you know what China was doing? Do you know what China was doing?
Because China economy was growing.
Do you know what China was
at the same time? So
do you know what China was doing?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm listening.
China was acting like their economy was messed up and they were taxing everybody more for trade.
What? No.
Yes. Yeah.
China, you're talking about tariff and trade tariff. And
listen, man. Listen.
America,
listen. This is my issue. This is what you all do. You all come to America for the opportunity and the benefit, but then you get mad at Trump for wanting it for Americans. Like, think about what your argument is.
Look, nobody's getting mad at Trump for
listen.
I'm talking about economic policy.
I know, but I'm saying, but his economic
policy.
His economic policy was to benefit Americans.
Bro,
that's the difference.
Let me tell you something. During Trump administration, there was that was the same period that China overtake America as the #1 foreign direct investment place. Why was that? Why did everybody invest in China?
That happened in 2010.
No. It was 2000.
China became the #1. China became the #1 manufacturer in the world under Obama's administration.
I'm not talking about manufacturing, bro. It's called foreign direct investment. Foreign FDI, look it up. Foreign direct investment is like other people from other countries having interest to invest in your country. America used to be the #1 spot until Trump became the president. I don't have anything against Trump. I'm just saying that the policy that he implemented economically wasn't sound. You can ask any economist.
How was it not sound?
They will tell you the same thing.
How was it not sound?
What?
How was it not sound? Because other people can't make money?
It wasn't sound because one, it increased the tariff. He withdrew from the trade alliance.
Listen, he promised jobs for Americans.
You keep going back to jobs. I'm not talking about jobs, bro. If you do,
that's what we're talking about. Ain't nobody who you know for that person ain't investing on no foreign countries.
No, bro. If you have FDI coming into your country, it creates jobs. If you stop FDI from coming to your country,
so then
job.
So then why did Joe Biden? So why did Joe Biden cut the pipeline production off and kill 100,000 jobs then?
Bro, he didn't cut any pipeline. During Joe Biden interview or whatever, the TV interview, he said clearly that he doesn't want to destroy the oil industry, but he does care about the environment. He strictly say that. You see, you guys are trying to joke. You guys are trying to twist his word.
It's
and
a joke.
He has defended this multiple times that he has no interest in destroying the oil industry.
Yes, he does.
The environment. No, what? Okay,
yes, he does.
No, since Biden has been in office for 4 weeks or whatever,
he has the green new.
You know, he hasn't done any of the thing that you guys said. Plus, let me tell you, if black people want to work, I'm talking general. I'm talking general. If black people want to work in oil industry, you can go to Alaska. You can dig all the oil.
It was here, but it was here. It was here from Canada down to Texas, Oklahoma. It was here.
Well, what do you mean it was here? The pipeline?
It was here. The pipeline is running from Canada. Do you realize that the pipeline is actually more eco-friendly than a train? You realize that, right? They can pump more.
Look, how they transport the oil is not my business. I'm not
just hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay,
I'm giving you an example of their policies. Their policies are not pro-Americans. Do you understand that?
What are you saying? Biden is not pro-American because
he's not.
Okay, so how can you make a policy that is not pro-American?
Easy.
That's contradicting. That's
easy.
You know that, right?
I'll tell you, easy. Don't promise immigrants 11 million jobs. Promise them to the folks that voted for them. It's simple.
Okay, so what's wrong with promising immigrants 11 million jobs? I don't understand that part. What's wrong with that?
They're not citizens.
Hold on. Tell me, where did you immigrate from?
I'm sorry, Dennis, what you said?
What country did you immigrate from?
Nigeria.
Okay, so table for one.
Yeah.
If Buhari was to promise 11 million jobs to non-Nigerians, Nigeria would be set on fire. And me and you both know that.
Do you know why that would not be possible? Because there's unemployment in the country almost 40% right now. You cannot do that.
No, you're missing the point. Any other country, okay, will deal with Africa. If an African president came out and said, I am going to promise 11 million jobs to non-Nigerians, if we're Nigerian, to non-Sierra Leoneans, if we're in Sierra Leone, to non-South Africans, if we're in South Africa, to non-whoever, that country will be on fire.
I don't think so. Come on.
Hey, Table, we got to move on. So your connection is best, but we got to go. Table 1, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't like Kareem. Go ahead, Kareem.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm calling in from London. Yeah, listen, I completely agree with you guys. You know, the term for it is called a social contract. You know, the citizens legitimize the government by voting these guys in. And in return, the government is supposed to give you protections, the rule of law, you know, a military, social benefits, social safety nets. So, you know, I don't know what the previous caller was talking about. I just wanted to ask you guys quickly about the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, for me, personally speaking, like, I don't understand why Black people even support this organization. You know, just sort of far left, Marxist, feminist, just anti-capitalist organization. I don't see how any of that benefits Black people.
What we see lately, they're not anti-capitalist. I mean, they're buying $1 million homes.
Exactly. So I just wanted you guys to maybe go in and talk about that a bit, about some of the corruption and the money that's been raised, and you know the lack of transparency around this organization. Anyway, I'm out of here. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Kareem.
Yeah, Green. We were talking about that earlier. Just, you know, how our people are continuing to be finessed, and do we just enjoy being finessed? And when Black Lives Matter, none of that money was circulating. I mean, they did a work. I mean, the thing is, Free Blanch, they didn't even try. I mean, at least like other Black organizations, they'll at least come and have a cookout, you know, read books to the children, you know, they'll build a building, you know, a little small building, they'll donate bikes, they'll at least try. Like, Black Lives Matter didn't even try. And black people still support. They didn't even try. They were just like, forget it. Like they didn't even try to attempt to like, you know, they didn't even try to attempt to even like really support the community. Like they didn't even try. At least all these other organizations, they'll at least, okay, here, we keep 20, we'll give y'all 3.
Thank
Black
you.
Lives Matter is just, we'll keep 20 and we'll give y'all a slogan.
A slogan.
A slogan.
I mean, you know, but again, BLM is working with all the major news outlets. So again, we had callers on here, and you can tell when people watch CNN because you can listen to them, and it's this whole mindset like it's like La La Land.
Right. Exactly. Brother Black Lion, go ahead.
Hey y'all, what's up? Listen, I want to tell you, I agree with both you guys damn near pretty much 150% because the sad reality is, I'll be honest with you guys are wasting your time with these dumbass people. You guys are wasting your breath. I'm sorry. It's like that Harriet Tubman quote. I just saved 1,000 slaves. I could have saved a few thousand more if only they knew they were slaves. We got some dumb ass people in our community. I'm sorry, but it hits the majority on this one. The only thing y'all did was called out the ignorance and the goddamn illusion of inclusion. These people will literally fight. The people in our community will literally fight and die for shit that's never going to happen. And
right.
And I'm like, it's ridiculous because like it's only been the 4th month of the new year, and black people have been shot down so many times, not just a police shooting, but politically too. Like, god damn. Chinese got benefits, LGBT got benefits, immigrants got benefits.
You know what's crazy? Again, we talked about this earlier. When we asked under Obama, so we gave him 08, so he came in office with 08.
08.
Well, we gave him a pass.
Yes.
He gonna do something for black folks. He gonna do something for black folks. You know, we were told he can't do nothing for black folks specifically. It's constitutional. You know, stop being entitled. You know, just because he black don't mean he gotta have black people. He ain't the president of black people. He the president of America.
We heard it all.
And like Free Black said, I'm going to say it was unconstitutional to do something specifically for black people. I'm looking online today. Asians get $50 million specifically.
No, you're incredibly on point. The sad part is, I think the one brother, Dr. Martin Johnson, said it himself. The hands that pays is the hand that rules. And the sad part is, LGBT is paying, white people are paying, Chinese are paying, and look who's in control. If one thing I would say, historically, slavery was our best form of knowledge to what's going on politically today. Because even during slavery, we start understanding who was the sellout, who was the coon, who was willing to protect and love massa.
Yeah,
we understood who was the house Negro and the field Negroes, and you can clearly see it now. As I think it's like, and the sad part is, for some reason, with black people, the two things we're stubborn in is religion and politics. We're stubborn. We don't give a damn about the facts. We don't give excuse my language, but a flying fuck about the reality of what's going on here. We got that black kid that always gets their ass whipped while learning that damn lesson from mama. And the truth is, unless black people develop that psychological maturity to understand that after 400 fucking years, well, not one damn policy wrote for us and one legislative, at least one executive order, just one, that you realize this country is working against your own interests. If you notice, every country will never put immigrants in front of the citizens first. That's insane. That's like saying me.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like, I travel all over Africa. Like, they not putting foreigners over there. I mean, they're not putting like the unless you're a corporation, you're coming and you're creating hundreds and thousands of jobs. Even in that, you have to hire locals in certain positions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why I just get confused, and nothing against my immigrant brothers and sisters who come to America. When they come with that, I'm like, look, if I go to your country, I'm not a citizen, I can't buy land. If I start a business, I have to go into business with a local. Like, they have all these things in place. But when we bring it up, it's just like,
Dinus, listen, bro, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry to say this, but stop being logical. When it comes to America nowadays, when it comes to being logical, you're damn near the enemy. You're damn near the enemy, Sal. Just the fact that you are logical. The truth is the new hate speech.
Yes.
If you say 2 plus 2 was 4, if you say 2 plus 4, and they say you're wrong, it could be what number it is, and they attack you for saying it's 4, you're done. And that's the sad fucked up, man. That's the sad fucked up mindset.
Have you seen the company that Bill Gates support? The Bill Gates funds did the study, and they said that math was racist. They did a study, and the study said that math was racist.
In fact, Freeman, let's back up for a second. And for the life of me, I took the SAT 2 times. You took the SAT as well to get to college.
Yeah.
And I remember them saying that the SAT was racist. And I'm just like, I was just, for a minute, I was just like, okay, I took it twice. What was racist about the SAT?
I passed the SAT and the ACT. I mean.
Right. All right, Honey So Sweet, go ahead.
Same here. But one thing I want to talk about.
Okay. So, go ahead, Honey. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me back on the show, fellas. I appreciate it. And I've been, listening, and in regards to our people, and it is heartbreaking. It's unfortunate. From my perspective, with us being in bondage, in America, we haven't had an opportunity to really heal. Like, for me, I think that it would be wonderful if you could take the 13% and isolate them, to give them an opportunity to really go through a healing process, a relearning process. But again, that would have to be the whole 13% of the population, give or take. But anyway, in regards to politics, Dinus, you already know how I rock with politics. Because American politics is too dirty now. It's too dirty on both sides. It's too dirty. Because at the end of the day, they have an agenda. And Muammar Gaddafi already said you don't need a small select group of people to govern you. You yourself can vote on every agenda that there is. Anything that's important to you, that's aligned with your values and your needs, including business. So at the end of the day, we're in chaos, and it'll stay that way. And we're fighting a lot of demons, we're fighting a lot of evils, and we're back and forth with each other. So you're right, Black Lion. And in a way, Free Blanch, you're accurate. And it's as well as what Brandon said. And at the end of the day, how do we get to where we need to go as a people? We can point out all these, certain different points, but at the end of the day, how do we cohesively come together and make the move?
Master the basics.
I'm an action person.
Master the basics.
And what are the basics?
The basics are, you got to think about self first, family second, then community. We have to get back in getting, first of all, functional relationships, married. We had to think about our community as economic foundations. These are basic principles that everybody else practice. We have to start building the stuff from the ground up. So our mindset has to change, like how my grandfather didn't finish, he didn't go past the 4th grade, but he ended up owning houses, land, everything. He left, went to the army, did all this stuff. So what I'm saying, and my grandmother left high school, became a nurse. All I'm saying is we have to get back to the basics. We have to master the basics. That means, first of all, self-love, and then loving our community. So that means, Honey So Sweet, if you start a business, it is mandatory that everybody that we know, all automatically supports your business, period. Even if we don't like the product, we don't like honey, we don't buy some honey anyway. What I'm saying is we have to get back to that because that is a basic fundamental principle of community building. This is what we got to do. And so I remember I went by Study Vegan over there off of
Rob there in RBD or Edgewood, which one?
Yeah, there was one over there that's by the West End, by that Kroger's over there.
Rob David Alvarez. Yeah.
And I remember waiting in line for 3 hours for Study Vegan. But you know what I noticed? All the other businesses around Study Vegan were eating off of waiting for Study Vegan. That's community. So what I'm saying is we have to get back to first family and then thinking about Dynas and Black Lion and Mike and Honey actually helping each other to elevate. I just don't think we're there because we don't master the basics. We're trying to start from the top versus the bottom. So the single parent household, to me, is a big indicator of where we are in America because most of these kids are being raised in a single parent household, and all the studies point to one thing: when the father is absent. When the father is absent, you are literally destined to be a failure. It just is all the studies show that. So we have to get back to the man and woman coming together in the same house, having children, being together. And then that extends to the community. We were more successful back in the 50s and 60s because everything was done in the church. Most of them may not agree with church, but you got to agree with the sense of community in the church. Everything was ran in the church. So if it was a meeting, if it was after school programs, everything was ran in central location. So what I'm saying is we got to get back to the basics. That is self-preservation.
Well, that well said, well spoken, and I agree. When it comes to the Black family unit, it has been dismantled. Whether the Black father is locked up in prison or he's killed because he's out on the Chicago streets, or he's struggling because of mental health issues. However, the Black family unit has been dismantled. And yes, what you're accurate in regards to that structure, that unit, and being back to the basics in just our households alone, and having, praising the Heavenly Father within those households.
Yes.
And that I agree, because you need mature Black men or Black fathers to teach the young Black men how to become strong Black productive men in our households, in our community, in our society. So do we continue? My question is this. Specifically, how do we do that in a society that is working against us?
I ain't got no answer. You asking me or them?
Well, I just, I'm Africa first, so
Well, I would say this. I think Dynas mentioned that he
I got an answer.
Oh, go ahead.
Black Lion, you kind of Black Lion, you're kind of lagging and freezing up.
Well, like that's a good question. Personally, one thing I know about Black people. Oh, all right. Am I good?
Yeah, you go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You go in
the one thing I know is with Black people is if you want to get a lot of Black people in our community, whether okay, one thing I know is with Black people, if you want to.
Might need to go upstairs or something.
Yeah, your phone is freezing up. Yeah. Mike, go ahead, Mike.
Hey guys, what's up, man?
How you doing?
What's up, Mike?
Good, man. Good. Hey, Dennis, every country is actually the same. If you're not a citizen, you cannot own a land. You have to be a permanent resident or citizen, including the United States. If you're not a citizen or permanent resident, you cannot own a land, and you're limited to any kind of. You can't even. You're limited basically. So
Well, no, that's not true. In Sierra Leone, you have to be a citizen to own land, not permanent resident. You have to be a citizen.
Even in the United States, you have to become a citizen to own land. If you're a permanent resident, I don't think you own land. But some countries, once you become a permanent resident on your path to citizenship, then some countries you actually can own the land. But however, if in every country, if you're a permanent resident, you haven't become a citizen yet, and maybe you commit a crime, you can be deported. And that's the reason why they usually limit the role of you owning the land and things like that, So citizens are actually the ones number one in line, for anything. Now, second point, the main point I want to make against my brother Free Blanch is this: government don't create jobs. Entrepreneurs and corporations are the one that create jobs. Now, when you saying another point is when you saying immigrants are taking your jobs, have you look at statistics? That most jobs are actually created by immigrants. The purpose of American government creating an immigration program, you have to understand the way American immigration program works. They just don't bring junks here. If you come here, you're not productive, they'll deport you. They actually bring immigrants here. They tap in other countries' brains.
That is accurate.
And this actually started in Europe. Europeans figured it out. They had to stop it. Because back in the days, the 20s, 40s, when Europeans realized that most of the German scientists best for the Europeans. But just coming to America.
Mike, you don't have to be a citizen to own land in America. Same way in South Africa.
I know you don't. I was gonna let him talk, but
you have to at least be a permanent resident. Well, you cannot be just an immigrant.
You got to be a permanent resident to own land in America. But
what's your definition of citizen?
The Chinese own lots of land and property here in America.
We're not citizens.
Yeah, all permanent residents. Yeah, Mike, I don't know about that one. But go
ahead. Are you saying illegal immigrants can just buy land yet?
Yeah. So listen. So illegal immigrants that come over to this country, they
can't even legally work.
Listen, yes, they can.
No, you cannot legally work if you're an illegal immigrant.
Yes, they can.
They can work under the. No. It's illegal to work if you're an illegal. Unless you get a work permit.
The caveat is they have to pay their taxes. I'm telling you.
So you can work without Social Security? Is that what you're telling me?
All this ICE stuff, undocumented workers, they're going after workers that don't pay taxes.
No, go look at the law. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
No, listen. I don't care. I'm telling you what's in practice.
They're working illegally.
I'm telling you what's in practice. If they pay their taxes, they don't bother them. They know this.
How do you pay taxes if you don't have Social Security number?
The illegal immigrants know if
they have Social Security. No,
Mike, hold on, Mike. They're allowing people who don't have IDs to vote. So I mean, come on.
You can vote if you're not a citizen.
Mike, you don't have to have an ID to vote.
Well, you have to be a citizen to vote by the law.
They're literally fighting to have allow people to vote without IDs.
Well, that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with who's allowed to vote. Who has the right to vote? That's what I'm saying. You have to be a citizen to be able to vote. Even the residents, a permanent resident, illegal resident is not allowed to vote.
Okay, Mike. So Mike, let me ask you a question, Mike. So you said that the immigrants create the jobs, right?
Yeah. The one that
okay. So when Joe Biden gets on TV and they all say that black people saved America, what's our compensation for that?
Say it again.
Okay. If black people saved America for you all to have jobs, hold on. If black people saved America from the evil boogeyman Trump, for you all to have jobs over here, what's the compensation for the people that made that happen?
Your question is not making too much sense to me. Like,
y'all understand my question?
Be clear, man. He's not making too much sense.
Okay, I'll break it down. Okay, so basically, you're telling me that immigrants create the jobs in America, right?
They create most of the jobs, yeah.
Okay.
I can give you an example.
No,
okay, go ahead.
So we had to save that same America from Trump, right?
Who saved America from Trump?
This is what this administration said.
Whose illustration? Not mine. I don't know that's not my illustration.
Okay. The Biden administration said that black people saved America.
Well, that's political talk, man. Politicians talk. If no intelligent, wise person listen to politicians.
I get it.
Well, I don't support Biden or anybody. I don't even follow politics, man.
But we all know that the politicians get their instructions from the corporations, because America is a corporation.
That's right. It is a corporate America.
So America is not separate politics from corporations. So I'm asking you, if the corporations are saying essentially that Black people saved America, what's the compensation? What do we get for that? What do we get for saving America so that you and your people can come over here and create jobs? What do we get?
Listen to me, man. Listen to me. Listen to me, man. You know, Danny's, you're a very intelligent guy, boy. At one point, we have to start thinking, to be honest, man. Like, we have to start thinking. I think where most Black people got it wrong, people that are struggling, is that they have this belief that the solution to their problem is the government. The solution to having jobs and things is the government. But to be honest with you, the number one reason why there aren't jobs in the Black community is because people are not starting creating jobs. They're not starting businesses. That's one thing. And number two, those that are starting businesses are usually moving away from those that they have acquired the intelligence enough to start those businesses. Intelligent Black people move away from the Black community and move to white community and start businesses over there. And they don't think about their race first. Once a Black person becomes successful, first thing it does is, let me get the hell out of here. Let me move to, I got to make it out the hood. Rather than when you've made it in life, stay in your hood and start a business right in the hood so you can employ your people. And sometimes I cannot blame them because I'm one of those people. I grew up in a Black neighborhood. And when I became an entrepreneur, when I started my company, the first group of people I hired were a few of my Black friends. They came to me, even though they were convict. I'm like, hey, you're my buddy. I know you're a good guy. I'm not going to judge you based on that. But these guys almost brought my business down. You get what I'm saying?
Mike, I want to read this real quick. Yes, you can get a job without a social security number on a temporary basis, but must obtain one within 90 days of starting their job. So I'm telling you, it's not.
Say it again. I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Okay, individuals have recently arrived in the U.S. may work without a social security number on a temporary basis, but they must obtain one within 90 days. But I'm telling you, this 90 days clause is not enforced.
When you show up with a green card, you're illegal.
Well, you don't have to show up with a green card. Like places like California, where you can get what's it called in California?
Dynasty. There are different ways people come to America.
Bro. Places like California, where they have what's it called? They were trying to do it here in Atlanta too, where you come to asylum. Is it not asylum? What's it called? No, but the legal aliens. It's a term.
Asylum seeker.
They were trying to do it here in Atlanta. Sanctuary city.
Oh,
yeah, you can show up and
United States is the most regulated country in the world and the hardest country to actually migrate to.
For who? For
anybody.
No. For Black immigrants, maybe somewhat.
Everybody.
But for non-Black,
except you're from country like England and France, those NATO countries, those superpowers, those NATO countries. You know, if you're NATO, but anybody else from anywhere else, it's the hardest country. Like you, for example. You, as an American, want to visit Nigeria, all you got to do is get your passport and buy visa and go. A Nigerian cannot wake up in the morning and say, hey, let me go get my passport and I'm going to America. No, you cannot do that. You have to first win either a lottery or be invited by, you cannot just wake up and say you're moving to America.
That's not necessarily true, because even with Nigeria, in fact, let me tell you, the Nigerians, so Nigeria, in order to get a visa, you have to physically go to one of the consulates or locations to get your biometrics done, number one. Number two, you have to show your proof, you have to provide your bank statements, right? So for a lot of people, and the bank statements, they say you better have more than $1,500 in your bank account. So for a lot of people, unfortunately, even check the check,
they're not going to have it.
It ain't going to happen.
Even if you have it, what's the reason you're coming? The several reasons you can come is either a relative that's become a citizen, fine for you to come over. That's one. Two, it's either you come in as a student, you get a student visa, and you cannot work. You can only go to school and pay 3 times what Americans will pay, right? As an international student. 3, Is it that you come in to visit for a wedding or some kind of event, and you have a lot of money to prove that you're not coming to stay? And most illegal Africans, foreigners that come here, is because when they come here, that's how they come. They say they're coming to visit. They kind of lie that they're okay what to do in the country, so they're not coming to stay. And what they do is they will not stay. They don't go back, and then they become illegal. And then most of them are trying to figure out where to become citizen by trying to marry an American or some kind of ways. What I'm telling you is it's extremely more difficult for foreigners, or especially people who have certain poor countries, to come here than it is for America to go to those countries.
Okay, Mike, I agree with you. I'm simply telling you, for example, like in California, right? They were busting the illegal immigrants that were working because they didn't have a license and they were driving operating vehicles. So the people down in Southern California, the Hispanics, got together and they passed some little law to where you can't really arrest them no more without a license. What I'm telling you is that I know people in Georgia that are Hispanic that aren't citizens, but they pay their taxes, and they all know it. They all say the same thing. If we pay our taxes, we're good.
Listen to me. According to IRS law, there's no ways you pay taxes. Individual tax is paid under Social Security.
Listen to me.
And a business tax is paid under your EIN. So that's the only way you pay taxes. You cannot pay taxes out of. They have to account for the taxes. Who's paying what? So how do they account who pay? Let's say I'm an illegal immigrant. I have no documents, no Social Security. How do I pay tax? Just walk to the IRS and say, "Hey, I go cash."
Yeah.
How do I pay with what?
Send your money in. I bet they take it.
They sure will.
I bet they take your money.
Well, no, Mike, you're wrong. As long as you have an individual tax identification number, you
tax
can pay
identification
tax.
number. Well, you cannot acquire it if you're an illegal immigrant. You can acquire individual tax identification number. You can't.
No, listen. No, if you work for somebody, they can. No, listen. You work for somebody.
If you work for somebody, they can get you one, Mike.
They can get you one.
They can get you one, Mike.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, I think I know where you guys are probably coming from. There's something called a work permit, right?
No, I'm not.
Not a work permit.
No, I'm not.
According to American law, if you don't have a work permit, I'm a businessman. If I hire an illegal person, I get caught. I get fined $11,000, which people do. I don't do it. I know people that do it. They sneak their way. So that's why they will pay those guys maybe $3 an hour or some shit, or just pay them on contract basis. Which I agree that is taking jobs away from people. I agree with you on that part. That one takes jobs away from Black Americans and people. If you're saying that illegal immigrant, like those Mexicans that go do the construction jobs and take penny, those ones, they're taking jobs from you. I get that.
Yeah, but that's what I said though.
Now, those kind of jobs are not in the neighborhoods, in any community. Those are like things that, So to me, listen to me, man. Where I'm trying to go is this. You have to understand something. The reason there's so much high unemployment in the Black community is not because of anybody else. It's just people not believing in their community, staying there to believing that we have to create jobs here. We have to open businesses, open stores, do what? Get together and plan it. Instead of waiting for politicians. A politician cannot create job for you. That's not their job. They just lying to you when they're campaigning saying, oh, I'm going to create 20 million jobs. With what? You don't create jobs. Politicians don't create jobs.
Mike, so what if I told you that in California, my family rent out property to Asians, right? From Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and all that. Guess what they all say? They say when they come over here, what's waiting for them?
What's waiting for them? Family or nobody or friend?
A check.
What?
No, money.
There's a lot. Listen. You know what? That goes to another point you made earlier that's just making me laugh. Like, there's this rumor and all these kind of fallacies that's going on among a lot of Black people that somehow government is sharing money for different groups. Like you mentioned earlier that they're sharing money to immigrants or something like that.
No, it's true.
That was the Black guy that came out to me like not so long ago. Like, he was like, I heard they're giving money to Nigerians. I'm like, what? Where? Let me go get my share. There's no way in the world they're sharing money to any group. Nobody shares money.
I didn't say share money. I said in New York specifically, they're giving the immigrants $2 billion. I said the Biden administration is giving.
They're distributing money to immigrants.
Huh?
They're distributing money to immigrants.
Yes, they've been doing
immigrants. Okay, where can an immigrant go to go get money? Tell me.
So when they come across the border,
Uh-huh.
that's where the process starts. I don't know. Listen, I'm telling you what the policies they're doing. I don't know where. I don't know the address. You can look this up. 11
Here we go. Let me go. New York to make $2.1 billion available to undocumented immigrants. Here's how. I mean, right here.
No. If you're talking about, I don't even believe. I don't believe that. Politicians lie a lot, man. One thing I noticed is this. One thing I noticed
$2.1 billion for undocumented workers signals New York's progressive shift.
You guys, okay, I got one question for you guys. Do you guys actually think that American government are so nice that they're just saying, hey, come here, just come here, come to America? Yeah. Do you think the purpose of them letting people come here is because they're being nice, generous?
But it's not, listen, it's not to be nice though. It's a multi-layered thing. So what's going to happen is they're trying to ensure the voting populace and Hispanics. And then the second thing is that's going to push the Black community as a permanent underclass. I mean, it's a multi-level thing. It ain't just one thing.
So you think Black people are being targeted? Black Americans being targeted?
No. Listen, hold on. Listen, it's not that we're targeted. We just aren't valuable anymore. Because
no, you can't degrade your people like that, man. There are a lot of valuable.
Listen, don't get CNN on me. When I say valuable, I'm talking about a contributor to the nation. That means Hispanics are the #1 minority population. And they're trying to make the immigrants second, and they have the Asians as third. But the Asian community pretty much parallels white America. So they don't fall in that category.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is they look at the numbers. The numbers show that in a few years, we're going to be so small in population, we won't have an impact. It ain't personal with us.
Well, you realize that America is an underpopulated country in many sense.
Listen, every time I say something, y'all keep moving the cheese. Listen.
Okay, I'm going to your question. I'm going to answer the points you're making, the entire point you're making. Listen.
Go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
I'm gonna thank you. I appreciate you, Free Blanch. I'll say this much. And we already know this. I really don't have to, it's really a no-brainer. At the end of the day, no matter what happens to the 13%, when it comes to the NBA industry, the NFL industry, you're not gonna see a whole bunch of, with all due respect, you ain't gonna see all the Hispanics running that ball, okay? You're not going to see, other immigrants, hooping. You're gonna see that industry and the leaders and the players in that industry, they are part of the 13%. So again, we need to come together with all that power and strength collectively. However, but we honestly, in my opinion, I think it needs to be outside of this system, because this system, the corporate America, it has never been in the interest of the 13%. So period, point blank. I don't care what nobody say. So in regards to immigrants, my feeling on them, we have to also keep in mind that the white race, which I'm 40% European. I just found out with my 23andMe, which I thought I was part Native American, but I'm not. So, and 60% is sub-Saharan African, with 35% of me now is Nigerian. But to stay on point, and that point that I'm making is the 13% has always been undercut, has never been respected, has never been upheld as far as the majority of the 13%. So we have to do that ourselves, and we have to do that somewhere else, and we have to do that in a place that will allow us to focus on that, because there's too many forces here that will continue to pull us down and continue to divide us. We plague with guns, we plague with drugs, we plague with the gelling system, and then you got the other evil forces that keeps us torn apart. Now, as far as immigration, I respect all immigrants, because America is made up of all immigrants from all over the world. So at the end of the day, we're all immigrants on this land, as far as America is concerned.
I disagree. Free Blanch, we're not immigrants. We didn't choose to come over.
We're not.
No, I'm not.
It depends on your definition, though. It depends on your definition.
I'm saying even the Europeans, when they came over here on the boats coming into Plymouth Rock, it's all immigrants. But now they're calling the shots. They're making the rules on the federal level, the state level, and the local level. So we're playing according to their rules. You can start a business, but it's going to be according to the city, the state, and the federal rules. You're going to pay the fees to start to get a license. You're going to have to pay for whatever type of business. You know what it takes. I don't have to tell y'all. You know what it takes to start a business. You know what licenses. All these are formulated from the first flow of immigrants. It ain't what we started. Like you said, Dinus, you know how the majority got here. So therefore, if you want to prosper in a system, you're going to have to create your own system from the beginning.
You see, one thing we need to do is this. We need to try to look at big picture and the whole fundamental roots of entire system. See, America itself is a system. And the system is all about the best interest. It's interest. That's all it is. There is no, oh, I care about this group, I care about that person. At this point, even America itself, the system don't give a shit about white people anymore. You just care about survival at this point. America right now, China is kicking America's ass. Because
America's finished. America's done.
I was going somewhere. Like, America at a point, America was a country where they were so all about, oh, the white race, oh, white is the face of America. At this point, they can't depend on white America anymore.
Yeah, America's done.
They become probably more dysfunctional and unproductive white Americans. So even now, America cannot run to Europe and say, okay, let me go get those Europeans that stay productive. Even most of European countries are socialist countries. They're not productive. Even European countries are starting to call immigrants to come in. Because without productivity, I don't care how much outreach you are, your country will collapse. If you cannot produce some amount of engineers every year, China produce Apple. I have to tell was it President Bush, like, listen, I have to go to China, man, because I can't produce 20,000 engineers I need 20,000 engineers instantly. Yeah. Right? Every time I put a branch, the only place I can find that is in China. America cannot produce those kind of people, man. Most of our kids are so dysfunctional. The white children are even more dysfunctional than anybody else today. Most white kids are doing drugs. The ones that are doing anything right now is one of their parents that are super wealthy. The white kids you're going to find going to type university right now are the ones that their parents are wealthy and their parents threaten them, like, listen, before you can inherit my wealth, you have to get this degree, you have to go to Harvard. And then when they go to those schools, when they graduate, when those white kids graduate, they don't go to the workforce. They just go take over their father's business. So America cannot produce those class, the engine, the productive engine. That's why they're bringing immigrants from these poor countries, because they know that those people are hungry. They are hungry. They don't. Right. It's not because they love them and they want to. That's what they tell you on TV. Oh, we're protecting them. We're just nice. We're bringing them here. No, once they bring them here, when they realize they cannot be productive, they'll deport them. So stop thinking they're loving immigrants or they love somebody. They're bringing them here because they love them. That's not true, man.
No, and listen, Mike, I don't think, Mike. I don't think. Listen, I don't think that they love immigrants. That wasn't my point.
They don't love anybody. They don't about their interest.
Right. So, but my point was, we're talking about Black people being the ones in this country that built the country, and so we're the ones that are suffering all the consequences. So my question is, if they get on TV and say that we saved the country, I'm asking you, what should we get for that? That's all I'm asking.
These people don't like you, man. When are you gonna get it? You've been living for 400 years. You think and you still haven't got that? They don't like you. Stop asking this white man for shit, man.
I don't listen.
They will tell you they will give you so you can go vote for them, but after you finish voting for them, they're not gonna give you shit.
But here goes the
thing is this. Listen. This is what you in life. Until a man gets to a point to understand that. Listen, nobody holds me shit. I hold myself everything I need. Anything that's happening for me, I hold myself. Get to that point, you start progressing. If you believe that you cannot become anything or get to anywhere in life without somebody doing it for you or giving you something, you're not gonna get nowhere.
Yeah, but here goes the difference.
I don't think a white man will want you to rise above the white people. I don't think so. So stop wasting your time thinking what are you gonna give Black people. They're not gonna give you shit. This is what Black people need to do.
But Mike,
we need to rally, get together, get our best brains together, unite, love ourselves,
Mike,
and plan how we can build the future for ourselves. That's the only way. Politicians are not going to save your life.
Listen, Mike. I will be the first one to tell anyone, you get out of life what you put in. I'll be the first one to say that. Don't blame nobody. Look in the mirror. It's all on you. I'll be the first one to say that. What I'm telling you is, you're saying that they're not going to give Black people these things. I get that.
What are those things?
Hold on, just hear me out. But they are giving tangible things to other groups in the country.
Like what? Give me an example.
So the Asian community just got 50 million.
Where's the money going?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. You have to know where it's going. Are
It
they
doesn't
putting
matter.
their money as an investment?
No, Mike. This is the problem.
It does matter, Dinus. Okay, go ahead.
Mike, we've been told several hundreds of times that the United States cannot do anything specifically for Black people because it's unconstitutional. Asians just got $50 million.
Dennis, somebody can also pull out a number from somewhere and say, look, Black America just got $100 million.
No, they're going to get the money. No.
Somebody, yes, their money. Or somebody can say, okay, listen, okay,
Mike,
wait,
listen
to me.
they're going to get the money.
Listen, man, listen.
The Asian people would throw a fit if they didn't get that money. Are you serious? Hold up. If they don't get that money, where's the money going, to throw a fit.
Say it again.
If the Asian community don't get that money, they're going to throw a fit. Them folks going to get that money.
But what's the money for? That's the question. You can't just give some people money. What's the money for? But the reason why I'm asking is this: somebody else can play propaganda and just go pull out his number and say, "Look, this money went to Black community. They give money to Black community." Wait.
From Joe Biden, bro. This ain't propaganda. This is coming directly from the Biden camp.
I didn't say it's propaganda. I didn't say it's the propaganda that they didn't give Asians or whatever it is. What I'm asking is, where's the money going? What is the money for? You have to get to the detail of it.
It doesn't matter, Mike. It doesn't matter.
Okay, should I say it doesn't matter? Okay, Dennis, what if I put it this way? What if I say, what if we put the cost of what they used to give help people that are on welfare, like in the Black American community? If we put that money together, it's gonna come in the millions.
Okay, Mike, hold on. Mike, you're being ignorant now. There's no specific welfare for Black people. Welfare is for everybody.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. It's general for everybody. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, if somebody want to play propaganda.
Mike, you're acting dumb now, Mike. And you're very intelligent, brother. You're acting stupid right now. Okay,
I agree. Go ahead.
The administration just came out and said that Asians specifically are getting $50 million. Okay,
but I'm asking you that, where is it going?
Let me ask you.
It doesn't matter, Mike. The Asians are getting $50 million, Mike. What is wrong with you, bro? Stop it. Why don't you have the same energy in regards to building up Nigeria? Just stop it, Mike.
Danny's, listen. Okay, I got you.
Now, Mike, you're just argumentative and just for no reason.
Danny, listen, that's the reason why I'm talking like this. It's not coming from hatred or from.
Mike, it's coming from ignorance. Mike, you're just playing stupid now. Stop it. Asians are getting $50 million. It doesn't matter what it's for. We were told that we can't get money specifically for Black people because it's unconstitutional.
Okay, Danny's
basically stupid now. Stop it.
Danny's, listen. So you're saying basically being stupid for asking where the money is going.
Mike, but like you said, it doesn't matter, Mike.
Native Americans,
again, they're getting $50 million, Mike. And again, as Black people, we can't get.
Mike, I think, Mike, what's going on with Biden and the Biden administration? Since they have awarded the Asians, I don't know if it's Chinese, I don't know if it's the Koreans or the Japanese. Whatever sector got it, trust me, there's something behind it. They're not just handing out money.
Thank you. Dennis, there's no free lunch, man. There's no free lunch.
I'll tell you what's behind it.
Lunch.
I'll tell you what's
American government is not going to give you something.
Listen,
something back.
There's something behind it.
It's an investment. That's why I'm asking you, where's it going?
Mike, where is the Black American investment for $50 million?
They don't see no value in us, so we ain't getting none.
That's the point we're trying to make, Mike. Stop it. It doesn't matter what.
But I'm not arguing against that.
Hold on, Mike. Fair. So last year,
I'm not against. Go ahead.
Hold on. So last year, the government awarded Native Americans half the state of Oklahoma. They got half of the state. This year, they're getting $31 billion. It's not that many. It's not that many Native Americans. They're getting $31 billion.
I'm sorry.
So all I'm saying is,
I think you guys don't understand.
Hold on, just hear me out. Hear me out. Everybody tells black people to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. But the funny thing is, everybody else has an excuse to why they get money except us. It's old. It's tired.
You know why, I'm sorry. You know why, Free Blanch, we not getting nothing? Because we technically don't have a home. If we technically had our own country and we had some of our people here, we'd be negotiating.
We don't have a nationality, so we just nomad. We just existing in America.
Dennis, I will say something, man. I have to apologize for making you uncomfortable and making you really uncomfortable. But the reason why
Mike, you just, I mean, Mike, it's
the thing is this, Dennis. The thing is this.
Are getting money specifically for them.
I don't argue. I'm not going to argue in this white man.
Just to argue.
Listen.
$2 billion for undocumented. You understand how crazy $2 billion for what?
Mike, all I'm saying, Mike, apply that to Nigeria. If undocumented immigrants in Nigeria, if Buhari came on TV and said right now, Ghanaians, I'm giving you guys, Ghanaians in Nigeria, I'm not trying to pin brothers and sisters together. I'm giving y'all $2 billion. Nigeria would be on fire. You know it.
You know what in Nigeria, like me, would ask is, okay, what is the money for? Where's the money going? That's what I asked.
No, y'all would ask that.
Listen, now, can I answer at least? Listen, man. Listen. Come on, man. Come on. Listen. That's not the thing about black people is we like
that, bro. Come on, man.
We like to protect our feelings. But listen, Dennis, let me say something. Let me say something. If Buhari come on TV and say, hey, I want to give this $2 billion or whatever dollar, whatever, to this Ghanaian or this group of immigrants in Nigeria, the first question I'm asking is, what is it for? Where is he going? Now, if he has to go into detail. Wait. Let me finish.
Mike, you are being disingenuous now. You're being disingenuous. That's what you're doing.
How?
So, Mike, you're trying to tell me if Buhari came on TV and said, you know what, all immigrants and all undocumented immigrants in Nigeria, you're going to get $2 billion. Nigerians are going to sit back and say, Buhari, but what is it for? You really come on, bro.
No, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying.
That's what you just said.
I said me. I didn't say Nigerians. I said me.
Hey, Mike, at the end of the day,
can I at least get to where I'm going? I would ask him, first of all, explain this thing because it sounds ridiculous. That's what I would tell him. Why are you putting that money there? And now if you get to the explanation and tell me that, listen, these guys are doing this and that and that and then doing this. Once I put that, wait, Danny's wait now. But there is nobody.
Mike, come on, man.
Dennis, there is American government are not stupid to give anybody anything for free. Everything is an investment. It's an investment. They invest. Yeah. They know that if they put money before they put money in anything, they know that they will get 20 times, if not 100 times, return on the investment. America no one give anybody anything for free. It's all investments. That's what I'm saying. Listen.
It's an agenda.
What Black American community do?
Listen, but Mike, you keep listen. You got to look at the unemployment rate. You got to look at how many black folks are unemployed. Then you got to ask yourself, if it's this many black folks unemployed, why would they be offering jobs to other people? It's a reason, right? There's a reason, right?
Okay. You remember I mentioned earlier, right? I started a company, right? And I went to the community and I said, hey, you know what? Let me go hire black first. And I hired some guys that I knew this things like that. And this guy,
you hired some criminals, right?
Listen.
You hired some criminals.
Well, you gotta let me talk, man.
Go ahead.
Listen, causes for unemployment. It's not just simply because there's no job. Sometimes it's usually somebody just having personal issue. Maybe you're on drug, or you just not productive, or you're just not trying to do for yourself. A lot of people are not trying to do for themselves. That's one thing. That's rule number one. Number two, the people that are supposed to be creating jobs are the people in the community, not the government. The people in the community. So now, if we're going to solve this problem of unemployment in the black community, I think we're not looking at the roots of it. That's a saying in an African proverb. They say, listen, man, it's the ants that's inside of the kola nut they should worry about the most, not the one that's outside of it. Because the one that's inside the kola nut is the one that's really killing the kola nuts. But the reason why I cannot talk like this today, Dynasty, is I got to a point where I'm like, I'm going to start being brutally blunt with my people because we say the same thing over and over. I've been the same thing for over 20 years. We have to get to the point where we have to start dealing with the hands inside of the cola nuts. One of the real issues why there's so much unemployment in black neighborhoods. One, there's so much dysfunctions. There's a lot of drugs problem going on in the community.
True.
Right? There's a lot of lack of promoting education value because if I want to employ somebody, I'm going to interview you. I want to make sure you're going to be productive in my business. No one cares if you're black or white. A true businessman does not really care if he likes you or hates you. I had a redneck, a racist guy that had a KKK flag in his office, literally called me for an interview and chose me over a white guy because I was 10 times more likely to produce for his business than a white guy. He doesn't, at that moment, all he cares about is his business, profiting. So we have to get to a point where we start teaching black people like everything is not all about your skin color, man. You have to start looking at some inner issues.
I agree.
So when we're saying black unemployment, now you're saying Biden, let's create jobs. Now they create jobs. They have to still do interview. Job is not a gift. Job is not giving somebody a job. It's not really helping somebody.
Yes,
somebody
it does.
will give you a job because they want to help you. They give you a job because they need you. Listen. Someone is hiring you. He's not hiring you because he want to help you. He's hiring you because he needs you to produce for him. That's it. Like I said, I hire my friends and I fire them.
But you're missing the point. Black people only have wealth in home ownership, and that's through jobs. Because most black folks work in the service industry. Most black folks just have a regular job. So if we don't have jobs, we're finished. That's all we have to build wealth.
And that's something we need to change. As the 13%, we need to stop seeing ourselves as just jobs and getting to, being business owners, small business owners.
Thank you.
Investments. If we're going to be on the level of Asians, because they don't have the mindset of just being go get a job. They say no. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be own your own corporation. They're thinking on levels that puts them in the game to win.
Exactly. If you go among Asian community, even immigrant community, even like where I live here in Houston, the Nigerian community, we have this entrepreneur group of us. We have this entrepreneur mentorship program, where we got a bunch of young guys, like, hey, if you want to start business, where to go, this is where to go. We educate ourselves on how to start a business and how to navigate different industries, But then when I look at my Black American neighborhood friends, they're not doing the same thing. Even the one that has a business, he doesn't go there and try to pull those young boys and say, come on, guys, listen. Instead of you guys to be this, I want a job, white man won't give me a job. Let me show you guys how to get together and start this kind of business and that kind of business and work together as people and what it takes to be a successful businessman. So mentorship, all those kind of things. Those are the things we should be focusing on. Not sit around and say, they don't give black people jobs. Listen, man, they just don't give no one jobs, man. Job is not something people give people because they're doing people favor. Somebody's giving you a job for you to produce for him.
Right.
So those are the real issues we should be discussing instead of this. Because I see too many black YouTube channels where they talk about the same thing. Oh, black people, they don't want to give us jobs. We don't have jobs.
No. Listen,
it's the president's fault.
Mike,
politicians' fault.
Mike, you keep missing the point I'm making. You keep missing the point. If they don't basically politic to immigrants. Meaning the immigrants, like you're Nigerian, other folks from other countries, you're not a part of the political system here at all. You're not a part of it. So that means—
What do you mean I'm not a part of it? Explain it.
You're not part of it because you're able to come over here regardless of what's going on. So
I was invited over here. American government invited me over here.
Okay, listen, just hear me out. Joe Biden just invited 11 million immigrants. Listen to me. He just invited 11 million immigrants and promised them jobs.
No, he can't promise them jobs.
Yes, he can.
Jobs where?
Well, that's why Black Americans need to become business owners. So when the immigrants come in, you can have that flux of 11 million to go ahead and help run your business, sisters and brothers. And another thing about Asians and Nigerians and my peoples from the motherland, I know some Ghanaian fellas that can speak 6 and 7 languages. I speak 3. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we're lacking. If we want to become global and perform on a global, network, it's not just the United States. It's just not, you know, Chicago, California, Atlanta, you know, New York. It's not that. We got to be on a global grind.
So again, I've been telling quote unquote Black America to not participate in this system and see what happens. Because the problem is we keep participating and getting nothing. So what we do is don't participate. Don't participate. That means you can go out there and get a career, start a business, get a job. But when it comes to politics, you let them have it and see what happens. That's my suggestion.
Listen, man. Listen. Let me tell you what other groups are doing that you can learn from. They believe one thing. It's not politicians that's going to get them to where they're going. That's one thing they all believe. They know that to become successful does not require politicians. Does not require politics. Politicians are not created to change your life. To be honest, they just created to create policies. That's it. And all they do is go after people that are created for themselves and start creating policies against them to take their money. That's how government make money. Revenue. They tax people. They tax business owners. Taxes. That's how they make money. If not, they won't have money. Government will not have money. Now, let me give you one example. One thing you can learn from.
Hey, Mike, go ahead. Then we're gonna close out, bro. Because
okay. That is. I think we're at a point where we as Black people need to start being harsh and being brutally blunt with ourselves, so that way we can really move. Because a lot of times the things we know we don't want to say because we don't want to hurt feelings and things like that. I'm not coming from a malicious point. The thing is, I'm at a point where I just want my people to progress.
This is my problem. So I operate and nothing against my immigrant brothers and sisters, but I operate with the Booker T. Washington mindset, right? Philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come over, learn the skills, then go back and build our countries.
Yeah, I agree with that too, man. I'm not against that.
And I think, you know, it's just like everything that you say about Black Americans can be applied to those in Nigeria.
Absolutely. Even worse.
So my thing is, I think if we put that same energy into Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, whatever.
And Dennis, what makes you think I don't? You should come. Maybe I'll invite you to a circle when I'm having conversation with my African people, my Nigerians. I insult this guy all day. You know why? Nigerians are even worse when it comes to this believing that government is a solution. Nigerians believe that Buhari is their problem. And I'm like, listen, I'm talking to Nigeria, like, listen, I'm living in America. This is where America is functioning. People that are making things happen in America is not American government. The Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, that shit you guys are using were not created by American government. They were created by individuals. I say, if you want to change your country, stop waiting for the next PDP or APC guy that's going to come in and change everything. I'm even harsh. I've been talking to my Nigerian people like this. This is my first time coming here to talk the same way to Black America. I just see the same thing with Black people. We just believe that the solution to our problem is in the hands of governments. It's the same with Africans. It's the same thing, Dennis. Trust me. If you put a show about Africans today with the same topic, I'll be worse. The way I just talk to Black Americans today, the way I'm going to say about Africans, I'll be really off, man. I'm telling you. Like, we're at a point where we don't get it. Like, just like Albert Einstein said, if you keep doing the same thing the same way and believing the same idea the same way and expecting different results, that's insanity. My 20 years I've been in America. This is the same way Black Americans talk, dude. Mm-hmm. Clinton didn't create the jobs and this. This guy didn't do the jobs and this one. And I was following, and I'm at the point I'm like, no, what? This got to stop, man. Somebody need to tell people the reality. We've been believing that this is a solution for the past how many years? And other groups.
But like again, and then I'm a pass the honey so sweet. But you gotta understand, being a Black American, right?
Yeah.
And your president comes out and says he's gonna give $2.1 billion to undocumented immigrants, or in New York, not the president. Then he promises 11 million jobs for immigrants. It's just like, and I just know if Nigerian president, Ghanaian president was to say the same thing, what would happen?
Y'all would start a riot.
People will get angry. I agree.
But
I'm supposed to tell my people, pull themselves up by the bootstrap. It's okay. You know, the president's going to give these jobs to these immigrants, but you guys just pull yourself up.
Well, guess what,
Dennis, there is no 11 million jobs. Trust me. The guy's lying, man. Politicians are full of shit, man. They just say things.
But it's the point that he will come out and say that.
But it's
You know.
another. But I see why you don't got no love for that party, because at the end of the day, when I hear it, it does hurt, because it's like, okay, everybody from the back of the line be coming to the front of the line. We've been standing at the front of the line waiting, and how much more do you wait? You don't keep waiting, because guess what? The next generation is going to inherit the trauma. The next generation is going to keep inheriting the empty pockets. So you're going to have to make the move. My move, like Akon said, is going back to the motherland. Somebody in the chat said the fatherland. At the end of the day, like Akon said, you have to unite. You have to become one cohesive entity and move accordingly. So that's something we have never done, and that's something that we have to explore.
So I would tell any Black person, there's 3 things you should do. You should start a business, some kind of business. You should buy some land, own some property, and you should get life insurance. That's something you can leave for your children. I believe in self-empowerment all the way. I'm just saying, my whole point of this conversation was for Black America to wake up and make a decision. Either we're going to keep voting a certain way and suffering, or we're going to say no more. It's the only 2 options we have. So if you want to rely on the government, you got to hold them accountable. If not, then do it on your own. But at the end of the day, I don't put my fate in no man's hand. Biden, Trump, nobody. I make my own way, my own destiny. I trust God. That's me. But when I'm talking for my people, I understand it is frustrating because they're looking at all this stuff going on, and at the end of the rainbow, ain't nothing for them.
I mean, but look at real quickly before you close it out, Dinus. Oh, sorry, Free.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I mean, I'm just looking at the comments, and the comments like, look here, if we made a mass move to exit America, they would lose their mind.
They wouldn't let you go.
You know,
they ain't gonna let you mass exit this country. You crazy.
But you know what? You're gonna have to, hey, 50 said,
you better exit in small increments.
That'll work.
You better do that, because you try to do a mass exodus, boy, they ain't even go for that. I'll tell you that now.
Well, then why keep hanging on to us? It's like Moses said, let my people go.
Man, listen, man, this thing is spiritual and everything, man. They need us. Come on.
You know what? Well, why keep treating us last? If we that valuable, then why keep putting us at the back of the bus?
Listen, I
Hey,
tell you,
free Blanch, let me give you one tip, man. Let me give you one tip, one simple tip. Like if you want to change one community, for example, let's say Atlanta or somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Just walk around, look for some naturally intelligent Black Americans, right? About 10 to 20 of them. Pull them in a room for 1 month straight and tell them to just brainstorm. By the time they get out of that room, I swear to God, they will find solutions to all the problems. I'm telling you, they will fix the community, man. The solution to the problem is in the brain, man.
Every solution,
fix. Brainstorming is what Black people need to start doing globally, not only Black Americans. The brilliant people need to start getting together and be brainstorming. Because what I noticed is this: intelligent Black people we don't hang out. We don't hang out.
Mike, every solution, Mike, is in the mirror.
Exactly, that's what we're saying. You know.
I'll say this last one thing. The Bible already said the dark race will rise and rule the world. You all have seen it, read it, heard it. I've seen it, read it, heard it. It's going to take all the Black and brown from America and the motherland, and that all throughout the diaspora and any other race that want to come and build on a brand new foundation. Period. Point blank. It's been a pleasure. Many blessings to each of you. God bless each of you.
Hey, Free Blanch. Shout out how your page, YouTube, Instagram, how people can follow you.
So you can follow me on Instagram at He Is Blanchard, HeisBlanchard, and on YouTube at Free Blanch TV. And I think I'm on Telegram at Free Blanch and Twitter at He Is Blanchard. I think that's it.
All right, cool.
And I got a website too, where I sell my clothes.
Go ahead.
HHM for HHM, the letter 4 ever EVER.com, and I'm selling my gear on there.
And for the record, thank you, Free. I'm gonna have to check out your stuff. But for the record, I am not a white woman, okay? I'm a black mixed woman.
I don't but listen, I don't believe it. I don't believe in DNA tests though. I would tell you to actually go look up your great grandmother and great grandmother and see if you actually folks was already here looking for land patents.
At the end of the day,
trust them companies. Them companies trying to make money.
Yeah, and you got some facts on that. My mom said the same thing. So, but I know what my mom is and I know what my dad is. But you're right about that.
Who was the guy that? Is it Henry Louis Gates?
Yeah, Henry Louis Gates.
He even said that the scientists was back there just making up stuff because he had told Oprah she was Zulu, and he was like, "Man, y'all back there making up stuff anyway." He even said it. It's a joke. Like that stuff ain't real. You got to check them records, check them land patents, check them what they call the Dow's Road, check all that stuff. I'm checking mine.
I'm gonna check it out.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, Dinah.
Anytime. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Hey, Blanch is going to be on at least once a week, everybody. Can you do that, Blanch?
Oh, yeah, I got you, man. I got you.
All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Everyone, Blanch, we went to the same high school. He graduated before me, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a freshman. He was already a freshman.
And I was a senior.
No, you had already graduated. Blanch, you graduated in '96.
And when'd you come?
97.
I could have swore I saw you on campus, man. You was a freshman.
I was just on campus visiting. I was in the 8th grade, though.
I thought you was going there. My bad. I thought you was going to school there. My bad.
Yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Till next time, like, share, subscribe. Peace.
All right, honey. All right, Mike.
All right, man.